Be an electrical guy, I imagine. There it is, go! Half! Run it, he's leaning on his side, gotta get all his way. There you go. Uh-oh. Saw the counterbalance go over.
Jump sides, go. Tee it up.
Saw the counterbalance.
Hips down. Put your hips down.
Oh, yeah.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
And there he goes.
1,000, 2 1,000, 3
And we're on.
1,000.
And we're good. Welcome, everybody, to East Clinton High School here in Lees Creek, Ohio, where we will be today doing the Clinton County Wrestling Duels. First time that we've had that event, from what I understand.
It was actually postponed or discontinued or something a few years ago, and Coach Salin was able to round up all the Clinton County coaches. And
now that they're all in the same league, it kind of makes sense.
Yep.
So we have these duels now. The format is, Mark, and of course I'm joined here by Mark Scovaner, assistant wrestling coach here at East Clinton, assistant football coach, social studies teacher, government teacher. Anything else? Did I miss anything there, Mark?
One heck of a model American.
And one heck of a model American there. So why don't you talk us through a little bit on the format and how this tournament's set up?
Okay, so we got 2 mats, the only 2 mats East Clinton has, but hey. And we've got, right now, we're knee-deep in the junior high. We've got Clinton-Massie versus East Clinton on one. We've got Blanchester and Wilmington on the other. And so the winners of each of these duels will then wrestle each other, and then the losers of each of these duels will wrestle each other in the round 3.
Okay.
And so there's 4 rounds this evening. We started off with the round of junior high, then we'll go to the round of high school, where the matchups will be the same: East Clinton versus Clinton-Massie, Blanchester versus Wilmington in high school.
And then, of course, the winners will go on, will wrestle for the championship, and then the losers will
kind of a third place consolation type
match.
deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So that's what we're looking at here. We've got 2 matches in the junior high level going on. We've got East Clinton and Clinton-Massie over here, which is almost done. Matter of fact, in May, we're getting.
Yeah, this is the 245 weight class, the heavyweight of junior high.
And for East Clinton, we have Jacob Cubbage, and for Clinton-Massie, Bryant Pinkerton.
Actually, this is Seth Tagg for East Clinton.
Seth Tagg.
Yes, sir.
And Bryant Pinkerton for Clinton-Massie.
Just glancing at the scoreboard here, it looks like team scores is 58 for Clinton-Massie and 12 for East Clinton. And so the format for wrestling points, for team points, is if you get a pin, there's 6 points. You get a technical fall, which means you win. Uh-oh.
Nice hip toss there. The Taggart fought it.
Well, he needs to get his head up. He needs to belly down. Yeah, he should have bellied down. Now he's going to have a lot of trouble getting off his back with all that weight on top of his shoulders.
When he gets that counterbalance on top of him,
that's a lot of weight on top of them shoulders.
So Bryant Pinkerton is in position, but
Taggart down.
And Taggart, if he drove in, he drives into it.
Tag.
He's chest to chest. We got a reversal for 2. And I don't know what's going on with the score, but I would think it would be 5-2 looks good.
Yeah, the takedown. So it's 5-2. The takedown for Clinton-Massie, and then a near fall. Yep.
And then a reversal for.
He needs to keep his hips up.
He's got to drive through it. He's got to jump over on that, Mark.
Well, what's he doing? He's doing the classic jelly roll, big guy roll, where he pinches the arm and kind of hits him over.
Does he have enough time if he can turn him here?
11 seconds.
Got to break that other arm down.
What he needs to do is get off his knees. If he's going to put the half on the other side, he's got to jump sides there.
He's beating the head, and now we got
now a stalling call on bottom, because what Clinton-Massie's doing is just elbows in and kind of sitting waiting for nothing.
So Pinkerton gets a stalling warning, despite the fact he's ahead 5-2 going into the second period. And there's 3 periods in wrestling.
Correct.
For those people who don't know.
Junior high wrestling is 1 minute 30 seconds each period. 3 periods for a match.
So 5-2, but Pinkerton now gets dinged with that with the stalling warning. Now, are they giving? Okay, so apparently they're going to give him. They're going to give Tagg.
They're going to give Tagg the reversal and the back points. And so now it's 5-4.
Okay, so we'll focus on East Clinton, right?
we'll focus on East Clinton's matches for those listeners out there. And then what we'll do is that if when this one ends, we will go over to the Wilmington Blanchester match. So we'll pick it up from there. So
they're starting in referee's position. I'm not sure.
Seth.
Locking hands. It's locking hands.
So that's going to be a penalty point against
technical
tag.
violation. So it should be 6-4, Clinton-Massie. When you're in referee's position on bottom and your opponent locks their hands around you without a pinning combination, that is a technical violation. It's not like freestyle wrestling where you can just grip and rip.
or WWE.
Yes, if only. See, there it is. There's a classic big man roll.
There's the big roll.
He
went for the headlock.
Good job, Seth Tagg.
And Tagg almost had him. He's going to try to roll him again. You know, that's a good position for a limp arm where he tries to just let the arm go limp, pull that out.
But all you have to do, it's one of the easiest moves to counter because all they're trying to do is get you off balance, and they grab your arm and kind of pull you across. If you just sink your hips, just lower your hips down, lower to the mat, your hips aren't going anywhere.
I think
now we've got a stalling warning on Seth Tagg from East Clinton as well.
So we're each 1-1 on warnings.
So the next stalling call, which means the wrestler is not really advancing a move or just kind of sitting waiting for nothing to happen. The next will be a point. And in a
is that 1-1, 2 points?
Yeah, I think you get 1-1-2, and then you're technical, and then you
disqualified.
You're disqualified. Yes.
See,
there it is again.
Tagg. He's got belly down. He's got to get. Nope. Pinkerton
there's
has
a reversal.
Got the
so
reversal.
Now he's got control, and Seth needs to hit back over like he was doing before.
8-4 in favor of Bryant Pinkerton of Clinton-Massie. He is currently in control.
If he gets his hip up, he's got good position. That's a reversal.
And Tagg gets a 2-point reversal. It's going to take it up to 8-6. No, it's going to be 11-6. It should be 11-6 when they give Tagg his.
So Seth needs to break him down. He's currently on his knees.
Yeah.
So he needs to rip that ankle or do something to get the Clinton-Massie kid flat on his stomach.
5 seconds to go. And it looks like he's going to ride this period out. You know, Mark, wouldn't he be better off if he's not? You know, it looks like he's really struggling with trying to turn the kid. Wouldn't it be better just to kick him out and get up on his feet and try to take him down?
I think so. I think what Seth should do is go, well, the Clinton-Massie wrestler just elected to go neutral, and so this actually could be an advantage for Seth if he gets over top of him and he sprawls. But
of course, you can't back up on the whistle like that because you get busted for stalling.
You eventually will, but luckily for referees, they understand junior high wrestling.
Yes,
and they give a lot of leeways in junior high that they do not give in high school wrestling.
Of course, it's more of the mat time thing in junior high than it is for the varsity.
Yes,
and then if Tagg can finish that, if he drives into it, Mark. He's trying to
turn. He's got to turn the corner. He's got to drive to the right.
He needs to get lower.
He's got to get his hips up. Oh.
Pinkerton goes down to the mat and ends up with a head and arm, and now he's clearly on top. Pushes the score out to 13-6 with 50 seconds to go in the last period. And
Seth is doing a heck of a job putting himself in bad position and then recovering from bad position.
He sure is. Now Seth's not a real experienced kid here, right?
No, the first-year wrestler, I believe. Yeah.
First-year wrestler.
First-year wrestler.
So Seth Tagg, first-year wrestler for East Clinton, is trying to fight off the.
There it is. He successfully fought it off,
and he got his 2 points for a reversal.
So there's a reversal. Now he's got to work to a pin in 20 seconds.
So we're looking at 16-8. They've not updated the score here yet, but there's 15 seconds to go. He's going to have to try to turn him or something, Mark, or else.
Yeah, he's struggling to turn him right now because
this
should be a stalling point, but.
Yeah.
You know, with 8 seconds in junior high, I'm not sure that referee is just going to kind of let it go.
I agree. So it looks like Clinton-Massie will finish out this junior high match. They're going to pick up a 4-point decision here. And that's going to push it out to 62-12 for Clinton-Massie. They will advance to the championship round in round 3.
Right. And it looks like the match...
And
we're moving. Blanchester is beating Wilmington right now 27-9 in theirs. So if it pans out the rest of the way, it looks like it's going to be Massie and Bland versus Massie versus Bland in the championship for junior high.
And then
East Clinton and Wilmington for the third place match.
Okay, we've got some forfeits coming up here over on this side. So this This score was not final yet, so that will push it out to 68-12. And so we are, I think that's it, Mark. They're lining up to shake hands here.
Looks like, I don't see any.
So what, over here, if we can, we'll try to figure out what weight class we're at here. Looks like they're in that maybe 122 to 134 range. Over on this side, we will try to pick this up for you guys. Wilmington is on top. Second period, the score is 0-0 here.
And what you'll notice is the Wilmington wrestler has the newly approved OHSAA shirt and fight shorts combo that is new for 2017 season. Normally, the wrestlers, I think we saw all the Massie and East Clinton wrestlers in the traditional singlet, but for this year they have approved fight shorts, kind of like they use in club wrestling tournaments and summer wrestling tournaments, and then in UFC, obviously.
Why don't you talk about that a little bit, Mark? What was the move, the motivation for the Ohio High School Athletic Association to move to that, where they're allowing kids to wear shorts and a shirt?
I think for years now, I don't particularly personally subscribe to this line of thinking, but a lot of people in the especially in the junior high levels think they'd get more kids out to wrestle if they didn't have to wear the singlet. So a lot of wrestling coaches and wrestling parents across the country kind of have a mentality of, if we looked more like UFC
MMA,
fighters, and also a lot of the elite club wrestling, flow wrestling, and other summer tournaments had the shirt and shorts combo. I think that is actually what brought the OHSA over the rails, is all the elite wrestlers and the elite tournaments and clubs were allowing the shorts and so there's different combos.
Do you think the varsity will ever? I mean, do you think they'll ever go just to that and get rid of the traditional singlets?
I hope not. I hope it's always a option, a choice for the wrestler. But we've been to a few tournaments this year, and we've seen a lot of different combos. So you got the traditional, you got the shirt and the fight shorts combo, and then Northwest High School down in Cincinnati had a shirt with a tight shorts, almost like bike shorts type deal. So it almost looked like a singlet with a T-shirt on. So there's different. You can actually wear the fight shorts and a singlet. You can
just wear the singlet underneath it.
Kind of like, so it's like a tank top and shorts deal.
Right.
So there's a lot of different combinations.
Well, I guess if it gets more kids out for wrestling.
I think that's is across the board. I think wrestling is down.
Do you think
maybe that's just a way that they're trying to boost back up participation?
Because I know you and I probably are pretty close on this assumption that it's just been an excuse, a convenient excuse for a lot of years for kids not to
and that's
wrestle.
why I say I don't really necessarily subscribe to the notion of that's the reason that kids don't come out for wrestling.
Right.
Kids don't come out for wrestling because it's the hardest sport there is.
Plain and simple. Yeah,
plain and simple. So, whatever gimmick they need to use to get, I mean, that's fine. I personally don't mind it at all. And I talked to a few referees at tournaments past, and I was asking them if the shorts would get in the way, or and they said, nah, not really. Hasn't really.
Yeah, I don't think the shorts would be as much of an issue as if it was a baggy shirt.
They said, right. So they can't have a baggy shirt. It's got to be skin tight. The one thing that they were running into is the black shirts and looking at shoulders for pins. It's kind of hard to distinguish
especially if you have
the
black
shirt. Well, yeah, or any kind of like if your shirt matches the mat.
Right.
It's kind of hard to see if shoulders are really down or if it's just the mat. So it's the only thing that's they've been really bothersome.
Now, it'll be interesting. Of course, one of the other stigmas about high school wrestling is ringworm and some of the mat diseases that they pick up from that. It'll be interesting to see if this helps cut that down with their upper torso being more covered.
Right, and actually a lot. You'll see the Blanchester wrestler here. He's actually got the tights that go all the way down into his shoes for his legs, and a lot of wrestlers are going that way as well.
Well, now when I was in
possibly
high school,
a comfort thing, possibly
that was a standard back in the day.
Right.
You had to have the tights underneath there because of the skin abrasions and the skin diseases and things like that.
Right.
So
now I don't know if I know the short sleeve shirt is approved. I don't know if a long sleeve shirt is approved. I don't think that is. I think it has to be at the elbow or higher.
Yeah.
And I knew the referees were particularly sticklers about the tights. They had to inspect them during weigh-ins at the last tournament we were at. So.
Yeah, and you would think a long sleeve creates a couple problems. One is the opponent can get a better
grab and rip,
grab it,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other hand, how good of a grip can you get on some sheer fabric like that?
Right.
You may not get the same type of grip you would on their skin.
True, especially if they're sweating, right?
Right. So I mean, it is interesting. I guess the years will bear out whether this is a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it'll be neutral. To be honest with you, I think it's just it might be a little bit of a booster in the first couple of years but then wrestling is still wrestling. So remember, you got a singlet on, you got shorts on, it's still
Well, it's kind of like what we saw happen in track, where they've, it used to be everything. If you were on a track team, everybody had to wear exactly the same thing.
Right.
And in relay teams, if one guy had an undershirt
something different,
on,
it was they all had to wear. Yeah, is that not the case anymore?
Yeah. Well, they've loosened that up a little bit.
Okay.
But what's happened with that is, all these sports, and we see it in college football, especially, and in basketball, is the alternative uniforms. And we get into track, we get into wrestling, and it's pretty much. And although we have seen the alternative uniforms, the alternative singlets in wrestling, that goes back quite a ways. Mm-hmm. Where you'll have your championship singlets opposed to
just different colors and different But
they're trying to jazz it up to make create an interest, because kids nowadays, you see it in college football. I mean, who would have thought that Ohio State would have ever put on all black or the gray jerseys and things like that?
It's quite frankly vomit-inducing as well. It's like, I don't mind.
Tell us how you really feel about it, Mark.
I don't mind the fancy, creative, new alternate uniforms for Ohio State when we play Illinois or Rutgers.
Right.
But why do you got to use them at Michigan? Why you got to use them at Penn State? Heck, use them at Penn State. Use them at Michigan State. Just quit using them at Michigan. It's killing me.
It's the check, I think, that they write.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's also the most watched game of Ohio State's and Michigan's.
So Nike says, we want you to wear this during that, or, LeBron James.
We'll give you X amount of money if you wear it during Rutgers, but we'll give you 10 times that if you wear it during
the Michigan game.
Michigan game, right. Yeah. But yeah, so now it looks like we've got we've started Clinton-Massie versus Blanchester over here, and
wow, so they're going to roll right over into that championship match. Or is that exhibition? I don't know.
It might be exhibition.
I wouldn't think they would do that, but over in the semifinal match between Bland and Wilmington, it now stands 45-9 in favor of Blanchester. And
Blanchester always has a tough team. I mean, these are some pretty tough competition coming into Lee's Creek tonight.
Well, and if we look at Bland's varsity, they have at 132, 138, 152, 182, and 195. They have district qualifiers at all those weights. So they've got a half a dozen kids that are very solid wrestlers. Mm-hmm. And
they traditionally have even a handful of state qualifiers as well.
Yeah,
I know Bland and Massey, and it's been a few years, I think, for Wilmington to have a state qualifier.
Right.
I could be wrong. I'm not really up to date on Wilmington wrestling, but I do remember I used to come up there all the time, and I used to traditionally see at least one Massey kid, at least one.
I think a couple years ago, you might have to go back 2 years ago, where they did have a kid that qualified. So we've got a match over here. We've got East Clinton.
Looks like this might be Jacob Cubbage, I believe.
Jacob Cubbage, who is the heavyweight, correct?
I think so.
He was the 245, who Seth Tagg took his spot.
Perhaps not. I'm not sure the names of the.
Well, it would either have to be.
It's not Edison. I know that.
Okay, so
he's a football kid.
I'm going to say it's Cubbage.
Okay.
And so we've got Jacob Cubbage, and let's see if we can identify
Derek Perdue, maybe.
Maybe Derek Perdue for Wilmington.
Jason Doyle. I'm not sure.
But we will. Oh, and down goes Cubbage.
Yeah, he's just simple. He's kind of the Wilmington wrestler. Just kind of was on top of his head and shoulders, and kind of ripped him down to the mat. Just pure strength.
Some of the stuff you see in junior high, obviously, just does not translate
and,
well
and
to high
that's
school.
and that's also a lot of the reason that wrestlers get frustrated and don't come out for high school wrestling, or maybe they come out for their freshman year, and none of the stuff that they were successful with in junior high works at the high school level, and so you don't see them after their freshman year because they get too frustrated.
Well, one thing too, Mark, I think that happens with that is that really, I mean, when people talk what is the value of biddy wrestling and when they start really young, but I think you see a great number of the kids that will advance deep in the state have wrestled from a very young age.
Yeah, but it is the quality of their youth and junior high wrestling that is determines. I think if they have a quality programs down there that they enjoy it and they want to stick with it, because that's a commitment. I mean, I know a lot of these kids that win the state title in Ohio wrestled from age 6 to 18.
Yeah.
And
well,
so,
I've had two boys wrestle, and both
they both
of them,
did youth wrestling, right?
4 or 5. My younger one started when he was 4-year-old,
right?
And then
so
JJ was a 5-year-old when he started. So, but the danger with that is if they're not successful, they probably will gravitate away from it earlier. And you don't know that a kid's reached maturity as far as their body's just not at that point yet. But
yeah, and I've seen that. It's not just East Clinton. I've coached in 4 or 5 different school districts in my illustrious coaching career.
He's a veteran of the game.
And you'll see that all the time. You'll see 60 at big schools. You'll see 60, 70, 80, even 80 kids at the youth level.
Yep.
Then you get to junior high, and it's cut in half. And high school, it's once 8th graders. There's maybe 18 8th graders. All of a sudden, there's 10 or even 8 going into their freshman year. So you will have those rare programs like Mason,
right,
who has like 100 plus in youth and then 80 plus at 9 through 12, and it's just like they have like 2 full rosters of varsity kids. But that's a rarity.
Well,
and that's like your top 5 wrestling programs, top 10 wrestling programs in the state.
Right, and I think what you see with some of the programs that have the big numbers is they will have a freshman JV varsity, or they'll have an A and B team, or they call them gold and whatever their colors
whatever
might
the colors
be.
are. Right.
And they'll try to get as many kids on the mat as possible as long as they can, so the kids stay interested.
Yeah, because it's one thing to practice all year,
right?
But at a certain point, you want that practice to count. Yeah,
right.
You want to start competing,
right?
Because what's the point of practice if you're not going to compete?
Right.
And so I don't blame those kids at all if they get, it's a smaller program and they get kicked they keep losing their wrestle off, and they say, well, I'm never going to lose my wrestle off here, so why bother putting all the time and effort in if I'm not going to compete? So that's good that those I came from a Division I school, and so we had like the red team and the white team or a full JV roster and a varsity roster.
Right.
So
we
had it was a full JV schedule and a full freshman schedule.
Yeah.
And so maybe if you're a really good, talented freshman, then you're going to be on varsity. But if you're not, if you're just coming out, there's a full schedule for you.
Right. And then they don't get frustrated. And of course, back in the day when I was in high school, we even had freshman wrestling. So we'd have a freshman team, a JV team, a varsity.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the freshmen only were allowed to wrestle so many matches, and their season was done.
Okay.
Unless they were bumped up to varsity.
Right.
And I think that helps the kids when they're not.
So they don't get burned out?
Yeah. That's good. They're out for 6 weeks and their season's over. And they got a taste of it, and they want to continue wrestling. And I think that happens a lot. The weekend tournaments. I mean, we could go a lot of ways with wrestling. Of course, dual meets. The state has tried for years to reignite the interest in dual meets. And
I think that's looking at these tournaments or looking at the wrestling schedules in the past few years. There has been an uptick in duels and a reduction in
tournaments.
Big huge two-day tournaments, because it's a grind. Quite frankly, it's a grind.
Well, I think the state used to. Now again, I wrestled back in the 70s, but back then I think we were allowed a maximum of 3 tournaments during the course of the year.
Okay.
And then everything else had to be dual meets.
Right. It all goes by points these days. I don't know, like 2-day tournaments are worth I think 4 points, and duels are worth 1,
right.
and so you can accumulate a certain amount of points So they schedule.
What they're trying to do is create incentives to schedule dual meets, because if they're worth 1 point opposed to 4 points, you can get your kids on the mat more times.
Yeah.
So, well, they got to be creative, Mark. And I think, the thing is, when a kid can, like we had a meet here, which we televised here on Campus Nation, a dual meet where it's going to take you 2 hours, an hour and a half. Fans can come in like a basketball game, watch it,
and then get out, right?
And get out, and they're not spending their whole Saturday afternoon,
right? Opposed to like we host the East Clinton duels in mid-January, and I mean it's a tournament. It's a legitimate tournament. It's an all-day event, and so it's much more of a commitment.
Yes.
So you're probably not going to see the student section filled up for an all-day tournament, but.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing is, I know Doug Stalin's, how many years have we been doing in school? Is this our third year or second year?
This was actually, I think he might have done one before we got here, Bill, but I think this is our second. We did one this year.
Last year.
We wrestled Claremont Northeastern last year in our home duel. Then we wrestled Madison Plains in this year's home duel.
So, it does give some exposure to the sport and the kids that don't have any idea what wrestling's about.
Oh, yeah. It's and I know a few schools, I think Batavia and I think a few, maybe Massey, I think, do like a in-school preview where they have it really early in the season.
Right.
And, it's basically a scrimmage in front of the whole student body so they can see what wrestling's like. And then they said, I think the Massey coach said he usually gets 3 or 4 kids out to wrestle.
Really? So that might not be a bad idea for them to, start doing that if they want to resurrect the interest in wrestling.
Right, and that's the one thing I hear from the staff once we get back from Christmas break is, man, that wrestling thing was awesome. I had no idea what was going on, but that wrestling thing sure was fun.
Yeah, you do have to learn the particulars and the scoring and that.
Oh, yeah. So now we got...
we've got the varsity kids are warming up over on mat 2. Mat 1, we still have the conclusion of the junior high match between...
Well, Bill, that's actually mat 1 and this is mat 2, but that's fine.
Let me flip that. On mat 2, we have the conclusion of the junior high match.
This looks like it's in the 60s or maybe 70s.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, they don't give us names, so...
Well, Wilmington doesn't have anybody... So...
This could be 50.
This could be 50. This could be Hunter Davis and...
I like how we say could be.
And Cody Kidd. But we were just taking a wild stab on
in
this.
The dark, yeah.
But they did jump up to some heavier kids right away. So and Wilmington does have forfeits at 128, 134, and 142. That's something that we didn't go over with the fans, Mark, is the weight classes and the difference between high school and varsity on that.
All right, so in the junior high level, you have, because naturally, 7th and 8th graders are smaller than 9 through 12, so the weight classes are smaller. So it's the junior high starts off with 80, and then 86, then 92, 104, 110, 116, 122, 128, 134, 142, 150, 160, 172, 205, and then the heavyweight division for junior high is 245, and which when I was in school it was 215. So that was the only 2 years of my wrestling career I had to cut weight to get down to 215.
Mark was glad to see it go up. And so if you look at the separation by weight, it's about 6 pounds with the lighter weights, and then as they get up to say
it's about 10 to 12.
Yeah, they get a little bit wider dispersal on that. Now, of course, with the varsity, they will start at 106 pounds.
Which is a change. I think a handful of years ago, the OHSAA adopted the national weight classes.
Did they? I didn't.
So it used to be 103, and then honestly, when I was wrestling, I can't remember the weights, but I know it started at 103, and then 112, and then 119. 119. Again, I can't remember but I do know the high school starts at 106, then goes 13, then 120, then 126, 132, 138, 145, 152, 160, 170, 182, 195. And then here's the cool one is the 195, and then 220, then 285. When I was in school, it was 89, 215, 275.
Right.
So they added that extra 220 in there, which helps out a lot of kids, those tweener kids that aren't quite 215, but weren't quite somewhere in that 200 range, and they can't break 200.
And now they bumped it up too, Mark. Originally it was at 275.
Yeah, and about in 2006, 7, I want to say, they bumped it up to 285.
Right.
I think that might have been a petition, kind of like a concession to football. Is a lot of the football
300-pound
kids who were 300-pound plus and struggling to make that 275.
Right.
So they bumped it up to give those kids an extra shot. Now, I was a 230-pound heavyweight when I was in school, and so when I heard they bumped it up even 10, I was like, what did those kids need an extra 10 pounds for?
Exactly.
But then again, I was 50 pounds underweight.
But they did balance that out by putting in
that 220.
The 220.
Yes.
And they never had that in the past.
Correct.
Now, when my brother wrestled, who was a heavyweight, it was called the unlimited class.
Yeah, I believe it went 89 and then anything else.
Yes.
Anything above 89
Yes.
went 89.
And you'd see a 195-pound kid wrestling literally a 300-pound kid sometimes. And surprisingly, it didn't always turn out that the 300-pound kid would win.
Yeah, you'd have that.
When I was in school, 300-pounders weren't quite as athletic as they were now, or are now. So,
well, you see the college wrestling. I mean, look at the college wrestling. You see the heavyweights in college. There aren't big, massive. They don't look like NFL offensive linemen. They look like,
they look like linebackers.
Yeah, they look like linebackers or big safeties or whatever.
Yeah, Kyle Snyder for Ohio
right,
State.
And then and even the if you look at the state champions of Ohio, the heavyweights in the state finals are smaller. They're not
245, 250.
They're 250-ish,
Right,
but
right.
Small body fat.
Right, and they're
big athletes.
They're good athletes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you ever envision that changing where they will go to 300 since you have so many offensive linemen in high school football now? You look at Ohio State's recruiting class. I was just gandering at that, and they've got like half a dozen kids who are in the 300-pound range, coming into
right.
And the NFL, I think, is now. I was reading somewhere where they have nearly 300 300-pounders.
I think the average in the NFL is 292 or 294 or something crazy like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So and these guys don't look like they did years ago. They're not.
Yeah, it's not a flabby, slobby 285 or 300.
Right. These guys are good athletes, and they can run, and so are you shutting out a group of kids by doing that? I guess that's the debate for politicians and state officials to decide whether or not that should happen. And then NCAA, of course, fearful of kids dying from losing weight, has gradually bumped up their lowest weight class.
Right, yep.
Now, they start at 134 now? Or is it still?
No, 125.
Oh, okay, they still start at 25. Okay. But, for years, I think they used to be at 118 was their starting weight a few years ago, and they eliminated that because they had kids getting ill trying.
Right, and now they do something called the alpha testing, which they can determine by a urine test. Every wrestler goes and has this hydration test at the beginning of each season, and it's athletic trainer prescribed, and they have a weight plan, and they can. It literally, the piece of paper in front of the wrestler would tell them what they weigh now, how much, based on their body fat and their hydration, how low they can go throughout the season.
Right.
And they can't compete if they drop too low too quickly.
Yep. And so, it's for the kids' protection.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why they do it.
And then, so other things that have changed for the better, in my opinion, is when I was wrestling, you could do weight cutting activities, is what they call them now. Weight cutting, jog in the gym, wrestle, find some stairs, ride a stationary bike. You can do all this weight cutting up until the second you were on the scale. And so basically, which gave kids leeway to, come into a tournament or a match, 10, 12 pounds over and just bust their butt and cut 12 pounds. Yeah, cut 8+ pounds or something crazy in an afternoon or a morning.
And really just wear themselves out.
Right, and so they the alpha testing and the hydration testing is definitely for the better, because what they'll do is as soon as all weight classes start, with their weigh-ins, everybody has to stop weight cutting activities, what they call it, which is it's a safety thing. I mean, it's a pure. As my old colleague Cody Matthews would say, it's a safety issue.
Cody Matthews. Well, I think we're actually on a match here that we know.
I think the matches started in junior high. I think that sometimes the referees will
start in the
flip
middle,
a coin or have a deck of cards or something with weights on it, and they'll just say pick a card and whatever card is up, that's
where they
the
start.
weight. Yeah. So
I think we're at the 80-pound match here with Jaden Snyder of Wilmington and Brett Bandow of Blanchester. Currently, in the last period, it's 7-0 in favor of Jaden Snyder, and Snyder has Bandow in a bad way. He's trying to work towards a pin here.
He's trying to wrench the arm, and now he's got the half in, but there's about 2 seconds left. So,
and it's going to looks like a 10-0 victory for.
Yeah, he'll get 3 backs here, and that'll be the. And then the.
So we have a little controversy going on with the coach and the official.
Yeah, they're having a slight disagreement on what is a pinning combination and what is not.
I thought it ended the way it should end there. So
I don't really understand now that is one of the more entertaining aspects of wrestling is the relationship between referee and coach.
Yes, it's not always a smooth thing here.
Yes.
So we've got the conclusion of this match over here in the junior high. So it's 63-24
in favor of Blanchester.
And Bland will be meeting Clinton-Massie just like in the varsity for the championship of the junior high tournament. East Clinton will face off with Wilmington here for the third place match.
Yeah, so the high school has yet to wrestle.
They're getting ready. And
so this should be coming up round 2. The first high school round should be coming up here.
Well, Mark, I'm going to take a break here if you don't mind, and I will be right back in a second, and we'll keep rolling.
So we've got a slight break in the Bill's trying to break stuff over here. Got himself tangled up in his own microphone. Just got a break. We got a couple huddles going on with coaches and wrestlers. Just kind of waiting to clear the mats so we can get round 2, the first varsity match is ready to go. On mat 1, we will have these Clinton Astros versus the Falcons from Clinton-Massie. And on mat 2, the old school red mat, we'll have Wilmington High School Hurricanes taking on the Blanchester Wildcats in varsity action. East Clinton is head coached by Mr. Doug Stalin. Clinton-Massie by Spence Running. And Blanchester's head coach Scott Nicely, and Wilmington is headed by Mr. Kelly Tolliver. So just trying to get situated and get the scoreboards reset to 2 minutes. The high school matches have 30-second increase from the junior high period time. And they go 2 minutes, so 6 minutes total for a high school wrestling match. No. You? No. Because I don't trust you. Triumphant return of one Mr. William Raybeck.
This time I don't have the mic wrapped around my leg. Okay, we're back.
So we just got the captains to the center for the Massey duel in the
East Clinton. So we will take a look at this and let's see how these guys match up. So East Clinton is 0-2 on the year in dual meets. They lost to Madison Plains, where they won 2 out of the 5 matches that were actually wrestled. Last night, Claremont Northeastern, East Clinton won 4 out of the 6 matches that were actually wrestled. And when
I'll tell you what, the Claremont Northeastern has, their numbers have risen significantly. So they are, it looks like there's nothing but up for the Rockets out there in Claremont Northeastern.
They had a nice year in football too, so things have got a little bit better.
I think they ended up in 3rd place in football in the national division, and so it looks things are headed up.
A little bit better for them.
Yeah, so last night, it was kind of cool. I've experienced 2 in-school duels for our team at home. I've never, been the visitor for an in-school duel. And that was an interesting experience.
How was the crowd?
Kind of went off similar to ours. A lot less. They didn't bring their junior high in.
Right.
And so there was a lot less noise and a lot less, that was our second one last year, or this, and so the student body kind of had a little bit of expectation of what what the heck was going on.
Right.
But it was, it looked like the Claremont Northeastern folks were slightly confused. It was pretty cool. They filled their entire stage with their band.
Nice.
They played between matches.
Nice. So they got it pumped up.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. And they, we had some tough matches last night. Josh and John Klein had to really. Now they looked kind of inexperienced, but they were really fast and really strong.
Right.
And so that's the one thing when you get as you get going in wrestling, strength and speed only take you so far. It's technique that kind of takes over once you. And so they look pretty tough. And they had a couple other kids that looked pretty tough as well. They had their. I do know they have a pretty solid 285 that was out of action yesterday because. Well, I'm not really sure. I know we don't have a 285, so
right.
I just don't. And we didn't. He probably would have, but we weren't keeping official score. We didn't do forfeits and all that, just because they had many more numbers.
Just scored the ones that.
Yeah. So it was a good experience for everybody. Our kids actually got a couple of matches.
Good.
And so,
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, over the Wilmington and Blanchester match has started.
And we got a couple forfeits going on for Clinton-Massie right now.
It looks like that one.
I think we might have started at 120.
I believe that's.
Yes, we started the high school matches at 120.
So Sam Estes for Wilmington against Gage Burwanger at 120, and we will shortly be starting.
We just saw Matt. Well, there's 2 forfeits. So
for looks
20
like,
and 26. So Matt Asher and Blake Seaman both got forfeits. Now we're on to 132 in the East Clinton match, which is Austin Brock versus
it's either
Nathan Algier or Jason Martin. There's 2 names on our list, so we're not sure.
We will see if we can find out who this is. Maybe if we can grab somebody and get a name. But right away, Brock. Now, Brock is an experienced wrestler, 3-time district qualifier, and he keeps on trying to do that arm drag and pull him under on that. And Brock has put himself.
Don't see too many kids. Brock's a kid who likes to run a little. They call it boots when you wrestle with your legs.
Right.
And so he. Sometimes you take risks when you throw boots, as they say in the wrestling terms.
Right.
So.
And, Austin is a strong kid. He's been one of the stalwarts of the wrestling program here for, quite a while. But he's battling some injuries and just hasn't had a great beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact his record is, was he 4-1, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, if this is, looks like this might be Jason Martin, because it appears to be the wrestler that they've got in their notes to us.
Sure.
So it looks like it's Nathan Martin and Austin Brock for East Clinton. And
So right now we've got, looks like Brock's wrestling a similar wrestler.
Yes.
We got the legs thrown in.
He's got the half.
Inside, and you got the half going, which is the classic boots to a half is
a little crossface action, and
Brock's got about 23 seconds left
to last.
In terms of lasting.
It's going to be a three.
What you have to do when a wrestler starts to throw their boots over top of yours is you got to what we call mule kick and just unwrap. Basically, all it is unwrapping your legs around theirs.
Right. And in this situation, now Brock fended that off pretty well.
Yes, he kept off his shoulder.
And
Yeah, and so he kept off his back, and he only had one shoulder down, and so at the most, the Massie wrestler earned 5 points, 2 for the takedown and 3 for backs. So
it's 5-2 in favor of Jason Martin.
Yeah, and they gave the reversal to Mr. Brock there, so right at the end.
Oh, so it's 5-4?
No, it's 5-2.
Oh, 5-2. Okay, yeah. So 5-2, and there's a little Granby roll by. Ooh, Granby into a head and arm.
And he caught him. And he caught him.
And wow, what a bad break there. Granby, where the bottom man takes a step up, rolls through, and if the man on top doesn't follow him.
He catches the arm and he kind of follows through. And
right.
And he's got Mr. Brock in a bad way here on his back in the first couple seconds of the period.
And so Brock's got a long ways to go to last here. Brock is 5-0 with 4 pins on the year. He was first at North College Hill. And he's going to have to catch some lightning in the bottle to keep his undefeated streak going.
He's getting his hip up now, so this.
And he gets back through, and he gets into the body, and it's going to be a reversal.
So he was able to fight off the head and arm and pop his head out and get his hips up and make the reversal. So now it's 10-4 in favor of Clinton-Massie with Mr. Brock in control.
Jason Martin, okay,
now Brock has got an arm bar,
and he hooks the head with his foot.
And he's got, he needs to keep him on his back for 2-3 seconds.
He's going to get a three-pointer on this one, Mark, it looks like.
So he's got him on his back. So now
if
it's
he
going
can
to be
scoop the head.
He's got the 3-point near fall going. And what he needs to do is he just needs to keep
get
driving.
Chest to chest and scoop the head there and tighten it up.
He's got to keep his hips down. His
Austin Brock.
The pin with the pin.
So 10-4 at 30 with 1 minute it would be 3 minutes and 26 seconds into the match, and Brock.
Looks like the boy from Clinton-Massie is ill.
But
that was a very good job of fighting off your back, learning from your mistakes, and being able to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes.
So that makes it 12-6 in match score in favor of
Massie with their 2 forfeits.
Clinton-Massie. So Jason Martin drops to 2-6 on the season. Austin Brock gets his fifth pin and goes to 6-0.
There you go.
So, okay, next participants.
Next we got the 138 weight class. You got Matt Horn from East Clinton
and Nathan Gibbs for the Clinton-Massie Falcons.
Yes.
Gibbs is an 11th grader, 3-3 on the season. Matt Horn is 3-4, 4th place at North College Hill. Took 5th last year in the SCOLs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a sophomore kid. He's a new wrestler.
And Gibbs gets right in on the leg, sucks it in, and takes him down for 2 points.
Double leg, and what the biggest thing that Horn's got to do now is just keep his palms in the mat and keep moving. That's the most frustrating thing you could ever do. Once you work so hard to get a takedown, and the guy on bottom doesn't stop moving.
And the problem is going to be he's going to expend a lot of energy there if he doesn't. He really needs to try to stand up, control the hands, and get away from him.
We talk so much about in wrestling on bottom is getting your hips away from them.
And don't allow them to get wrist control on you.
Yeah, getting wrists and standing up. So separating your hips is the most important thing. So he needs to get a wrist. He needs to separate their hips, which he could stand up or switch or do any kind of counter to that.
And a little tilt action, and this is going to be points for Clinton-Massie.
Yeah, and so a tilt is a kind of I wouldn't say cheap move, but it's a move that exposes the back to the mat without actually any attempt to get a pin.
Well, it's really a freestyle move, which has been incorporated into folk style, which is high school wrestling.
Right, and so the back is exposed to the mat, and while the offensive wrestler's shoulders are still on the mat, on the side, not the shoulders. And
Because in freestyle, what they could do is they could just keep on rolling through, and every
each time, and each time their back is exposed to the mat, it's points for the offensive wrestler.
Right.
So they've incorporated a little bit of that, and so they count off the pins just like they would do in any. And now Matt has find himself in a bad way. He's got an arm bar and a gable, and all he's got to do is walk himself over across Mr. Horn's head and sink his hips, and that's a tough position to recover from.
Yeah, when you get a single gable or a double gable in, which
looks like he's just got the arm and he's doing a small facelift there. So
yeah, it's a little bit it's a tough situation, Matt.
Yeah, that's a tough. Kind of folded him up with the arm bar and just kind of held him there until the shoulders were placed on the mat.
147 of the first period. Nathan Gibbs picks up the pin for Clinton-Massie. Gibbs goes to 4-3 on the season, and Matt Horn of East Clinton drops to 3-5. And now we're getting into two of our.
So it should be 145 forfeit for the Falcons,
right?
Which is
Bryson Mills.
Bryson Mills will get his hand raised for the forfeit. Then we're moving on next to the 152 weight class, where Josh Klein, sophomore from East Clinton, had a fantastic junior high career, taking first, I believe, as a 7th grader in the SCOL, second as an 8th grader, if I'm not mistaken.
5-2 on this season.
Yep.
Second at North College Hill. He is, like you said, a very accomplished junior high wrestler. Both of the Klein boys, the twins.
Yep. Yeah, took a year off to explore other opportunities, as Marvin Lewis is going to. Last year, he played basketball.
Nice aggressiveness by Josh Klein.
Josh got him on his heels. Now he's got the single leg up, and he just
trying to go to a double with it.
Change the double.
If he can pick it up, Mark, which he did, set him down.
Yes, there you go. Hips up, hips up.
Nice job.
That's a great effort by Clinton-Massie to get their hips up and kind of launch Klein off, but Klein was ready for it, and he popped his hips back on top. And
nice job by Josh Klein.
Takedown.
Yep. And he knew, and people are wondering why, if you were watching WWE, you would expect him to slam them down on the mat. In high school, they have to hit the mat the same time the wrestler, their opponent, hits the mat. John.
So now he's working for a Neo Creator who's got the 2-on-1 on the wrist, and now he's just kind of working any breakdown to get his hip. So the goal right here for him is to put his Clinton-Massie wrestler's hip on the mat, just like he did, and work up from there. And so each time the Massie wrestler, he's coached well, because each time he gets on his hip, he pops back up to his knees.
And, the nice thing, now this is Robbie Frederick. He's also a sophomore. He's 2-1 on the season. And Frederick almost got out of it, but Josh Klein was right on top of it.
And now he got the reversal because he rolled through. Looks like Massie at all levels is doing that, the pinch and the roll through.
Yeah. 2-2.
Now Josh needs to get his hips away.
30.
Just like we said in the referee's position with the wrestler top and bottom, you got to separate your hips.
Yep. 30 seconds to go, or 27 seconds to go. First period, 2-2. Match score is...
So it was reversal, so now they went out of bounds, and so now what happens is Mr. Klein, who was the defensive wrestler now, is in the down position, while Massie is on top.
Which is a little bit easier for him to score in that position.
So now sometimes wrestlers are uncomfortable being on top, and they're much better with takedowns, and so they'll do what the Massie wrestler did, and they'll it's called kicking him out.
Kick him out, yep.
And so...
nice. Good deep double there, but he didn't finish with that.
You got to finish your shots. That's a nice snag for that single leg, and there's your takedown with 3 seconds left. So you just can't. That's just being a young wrestler, not being kind of match aware. And there's a lot of things Josh could have done to prevent that takedown with 5 seconds left. But that's just Massie being aggressive right there.
Yep. 4-3 at the end of the first period. We've got Robbie Frederick will take the down position. And as we talked about, it's easier to score from the down position because if you get out, you get a point, or you can reverse control.
Yes, you can reverse control, which happened to Josh earlier, and you get 2 points. It's kind of equal to a takedown.
Josh is working an arm bar. Keeps on.
He's got to keep him down.
He's got to down.
To a single. Yeah. Yes, there you go.
Nice drop.
So that's the classic. Now he should go to under the arms for a half Nelson, but
he's pounding the head a little bit there.
The biggest goal we've been working on is to keep their hips, keep their hands, keep our weight on top of them.
Josh tenderized him a little bit there and brought him back to the mat.
And so he's
now
he's going to try to suck him back.
Oh.
And so what he's going to try to do is hip over with the arm, and it's successful. They haven't awarded any points yet.
No control yet. I think. Oh. Well.
So there's a reversal.
So reversal by Robbie Frederick.
Kind of a nice little scramble.
6-3 in favor of Frederick with 1 minute to go in the second period.
And now we just got to get our hips away and get
your
head up.
He's got an arm bar.
Yep. Frederick's got the arm bar. Now he's going to take huge steps to try to get him worked across, but looks like Klein is fighting it off.
The arm bar is an old but effective move.
Yep. Now he's got looks like he's got a arm bar and a half. So,
but Josh rather.
Yeah, he's got a.
And now Josh is
able to keep the arm bar and score the half on the other side. And so
Josh got 30 seconds, and he is not going to make it through there. So Josh Klein, Robbie Frederick,
3.5 minutes into the match,
and picks up another victory, which moves it out to 30-6 in favor of Clinton-Massie. The Klein boys, they are now we have John Klein, the twin. And John was a very successful junior high wrestler. John is 6-1 with 6 pins on the season, second at North College Hill. In junior high, he was third at 170 pounds in sectionals last year. And
he had an injury bug his freshman year, which prevented him from losing a lot of weight, and so he kind of had to hover around a heavier weight at 170, but now he's in his fighting form, and now he's dropped a handful weight. Now he's going, was it 160 now?
Yeah, against Ross Lennon. Ross Lennon is 7-0. He is a senior. So this is going to be a nice match, 6-1 versus 7-0. The senior against the sophomore.
There you go. So he was awarded the takedown. And
John
refused to give.
Suck in that leg. He steps over it. If he can get the hips over, he should get a reversal, Mark.
There it is. Now he's got the reversal. So now it's smart for the Massie wrestler to just kind of give it the 2 points up there, because if he
doesn't want to get in a bad
kept fighting
position
for the leg, he would ends up on his back possibly. So
he's got a tight waist by John Klein.
A lot of wrestlers will give up the 2 points rather than getting pinned. So it's smart. Now Klein needs to get off his knees and put a lot of pressure on the top of his hips, which has got him flat. So that's the first step, is getting him onto their hips. So there it is. Massie's been using from 80 pounds in junior high all the way up now as they try to snatch that arm over top and try to roll him through. I've honestly never seen. I've seen upper weights do it a lot, but I've never seen it. Now we got a switch, and John was
it's going to be.
It
looks like it's
put pressure on the head.
John can keep him out of this.
Single. He'll get a reversal if he's able to finish this.
John Klein's got to scoot his hips. He's got to scoot hard, but it's going to be a reversal here.
Again, smart enough to. Now there's 30 seconds left in the period, so
4-2 in favor of Ross Lennon of Clinton-Massie.
So John's got to separate their hips and find the escape.
John's trying to get wrist control as he stands up.
So he's got to get his hips away, and so that's why he's struggling to.
And we've got
each time he's on the knee.
Yeah, we've got 5 seconds to go, and
it's a good period by both these wrestlers. 4-2.
Yeah, that's a good match there. Both kids are pretty evenly matched. Of course, you would see 7-0 and 6-1. You would expect that.
Absolutely, yep.
So,
John is a real. Both Kleins are very competitive young men, and it's their perfect mentality for the sport.
I like to call them the law firm, Klein & Klein.
Klein & Klein, there you go.
Side note on Lennon. Lennon was second at 160 last year, and he took 6th in districts at 160. So he's good.
So on the bottom, Lennon just...
Oh, and John Klein brings him back to the mat. Lennon pops up.
Lennon pops up. That's actually, these brand new Dolomar mats are good for popping up.
Yeah.
He
tries to throw John. Catches him with a lateral drop.
Yeah, it's kind of a lateral. So now, with the scramble, John's on his back, and he's going to fight. A lot of time left in this period.
John's going to have to really kick those hips over and hope that he can just work some room here, because the way he's got his head, if he's able to scoop the head here, John's going to be in a bad way.
Yep.
Yeah. John's keeping that
kind
head
of a holding pattern with Klein with his hips up and his shoulder up. So
John Klein, if he can survive this and get out of this at 8-2, Mark, I'd consider that a,
Yes, now he's pulling the shoulder over top of his head, which increases the pressure.
And John Klein's able to get over. Nice job.
Down.
Gets his hips down to the mat.
Now he just can't. I know, and that's the hardest part about being turned and fighting off your back is you're exhausted by that time, and the goal is to be now he's got the arm bar back in.
Yep.
And so what he's going to do is just kind of leverage. He's going to try to leverage Klein over by just pulling on his shoulder there, but
he's just got that leg a little bit hooked with his foot.
He's keep his head off the mat.
Yeah, and he looks like he's going to try a tilt, but
to rip that ankle and Klein's kind of exhausted himself. He was he's on his back for a good minute almost of this period.
And that's the problem.
That's why he's struggling right now.
He gets a little tilt, and he's able.
But he's about to pin himself.
Oh,
if you notice, the Massie wrestler's back was exposed to the mat as well. So in wrestling there is a defensive pin.
Yes,
and so if the Massie wrestler had exposed his own back to the mat for the 2-second count, while Klein's wasn't, even though he was trying to pin him, that's a win for John. But that happened a few years ago, actually, against Massie with one of the a wrestler graduated, Josh Jones.
Yes, he got a defensive pin.
He was able to get a defensive pin at Massie a few years ago.
Don't see it happen often. 11-2 in favor of Ross Lennon, and John. The nice thing about John Klein is, like Austin Brock, he could at any minute pin his opponent.
Right. He's got good hip position. He looks like he's in pretty good cardio. So he's going to shake off that half a period on his back and start from scratch here. And so for just like Brock, a guy like Klein, points don't really matter depending on
It's kind of the pin's like the home run is in baseball.
Yeah.
You can come out there, you hit that home run, and you win the game or a grand slam.
We call them 5-point plays in wrestling, where you get the takedown and the back points immediately. And so I know both wrestlers are capable of that. So we'll see. It should be an exciting, even though the score is 12-2, it should be an exciting third period for both wrestlers.
And if John's able to get one of those 5-point moves, right away, now you're looking at, they're going to adjust the score. They're going to kick it up to 13-2.
And
so
there was a lot of back points, a lot of time on his back exposed, but
they missed.
You know what? That's you ask a wrestler any day, they'd rather get tech fouled, which would lose by points, than get pinned. So now it looks like they're double checking for some blood. It's like blood time for Klein. So
for John Klein will just really, he's going to have to go into full scramble mode if he's going to pull this one out. So we're at East Clinton High School in Lees Creek, Ohio, where we're at the Clinton County,
the bustling metropolitan area that is
Lees Creek.
All
554 people, and
that's when school's in session.
That's when the kids are here.
I thought you were going to say 554 corn stalks.
They're gone too.
That's true.
There's nothing right now.
And this is one of the perks, Bill, of being a wrestling coach, is you get to clean up your wrestler's blood off the mat.
That's
one of the perks.
It doesn't get much.
They never tell you about that perk, but it's one of the best parts about being
Mark. It doesn't get much better than that, does it?
The Massie coaches are just lucky that the previous wrestler made it to the trash can.
Yes. Before he spewed. So we have. Over here, it is 12-0, I believe, and I believe it's in favor of Wilmington here on the other mat. And so we have the beginning of the third period, 13-2 in favor of.
Again, both these wrestlers are district qualifiers, have really good records this year, and now he's trying the front headlock. Now we're going to try to lock it up for a lateral drop again. I don't blame him. He was successful with the lateral drop last period, so.
Sure.
Might as well go back to what works, but John's a resilient kid.
John's aggressive.
He's going to give every ounce of energy and effort into this period.
Yeah, and if John can,
finish.
Now he's just got to finish his shot on that. He came up a little short.
In good position, but he's got to move.
Now he can't let himself.
Yeah, see, that's
Why don't you talk about a tech fall here, Mark, in case this ends in this situation. There's a 13-point lead.
Okay, so if a wrestler ends up 15 points or more than their opponent, doesn't matter what period it is, then that's called a technical fall, which means it's almost kind of like a mercy rule in other sports, where it's like you're up by so much that let's kind of call it the match is over kind of deal.
Right.
And so yeah, we've got 13 points here. And now we've got 12 points.
So he's probably gonna. If he can get a 3-point move here.
In terms of team points, a technical fall is worth 5, but a pin is worth 6. But you ask any wrestler, they'll take a technical fall. They'd rather lose by a technical fall, which means you were tough enough not to get pinned rather than being pinned.
And I would think that, if I were Lennon, I would have probably kicked him out, because if he would get another takedown, he would have his tech fall.
Right, unless the coaches are really focused on pins, which that you'll see that now in a tournament-style match. You absolutely see a technical fall right here.
He's trying to. If he can turn John's shoulders.
He's really looking for that pin with the arm bar.
I don't think it's going to happen. John Klein fights it off.
Yeah.
And this match is going to end up.
So now we got potentially dangerous with the clock stopping at 2 seconds.
17-3 in favor of Ross Lennon of Clinton-Massie. And, John Klein, sophomore, 6-1. This is obviously not the way John wants it to finish.
No.
But John gave it all he had, and he'll grow.
He will never stop, and he's going to be frustrated by this match. But, Lennon's a good kid. Or is that Lennon, the wrestler?
Yep.
Ross Lennon's he's a talented kid. So, we wish both Klein and Mr. Lennon luck on this year. And something tells me those two will wrestle again this year.
I think they'll see each other somewhere, probably in the SBAAC championship.
The SBAC wrestling tournament has a unique format where they take separate points for the big and small divisions, national and American divisions, but they'll wrestle everybody.
Right.
So you have the potential to wrestle in East Clinton's in the national division as Nathan Vest at the 182 actually.
Nathan Vest against Colton Doyle. And Colton Doyle with a quick takedown. And Nathan's going to have his hands full here as we look at Nathan is 2-5 on the season with 1 pin. And Colton Doyle is 4-0 on the year. He's a 9th grader. Muscular 9th grader. He's kind of a stout kid. And he is
without this paperwork, I would never known he's a freshman. But
right, he's got a half in, and he's got the reverse.
Vest will fight. Vest will give it all it has, but there it is.
So at 41 seconds to go in the first period, Colton Doyle picks up a pin for Clinton-Massie, which pushes the score out to 42-6. And we're just going to have a bunch of.
We've got forfeits at 195, 220, and 285. So Braxton Green gets the forfeits. Sam Brothers and Austin Hamilton all get forfeits here.
Joe Ballman will get a. So it's going to be 48-6. It'll be 54-6, 60-6. Austin Hamilton picks up the victory. Will be 66-6. Then East Clinton will pick up a forfeit at 106.
Unless they've organized it well. No, looks like they're not.
He can't bump up that high, though, I don't think.
Well, yeah, it looks like they're going to have to accept a forfeit at 106, and then neither team has a wrestler at 113. And they've already done the 120, 126.
So 66-12, the final score here. Clinton-Massie moves on to the championship match. And so we're going to jump action over to the Wilmington
and Blanchester match. Where it looks like Blanchester is up. If I'm reading the benches right, Blanchester is sitting in the visitor, which is guest. And I look at their ankle bracelet. Their ankles, see, in wrestling, the green ankle bracelet is. It looks like these refs have chosen to understand that orange is closer to red and blue is somehow closer to green. So. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's ref discretion. It's basically telling which wrestler is which for scoring purposes. And so
if we can find out what weight class they're at here, maybe we'll just see if we can get one of these guys to find out what weight we're at.
Hey.
Let's throw something.
Do you know what weight this is?
You know what weight this is? $138. All right, we're good. So this is Logan Cook for Wilmington. He's a 9th grader. And let's see. And then this is Caden Burwanger for Blanchester. Burwanger is a district qualifier. So we've got, and we do not have much information on the Bland wrestlers, so we will do the best we can with that.
Or the Wilmington wrestlers.
Oh, we have Wilmingtons. We don't.
Oh, so we basically have the information on who qualify for districts, which is a impressive feat in
wrestling.
Especially in the state of Ohio.
Right. So Burwanger is on top for the beginning of the second period, and he has got an arm bar, and he is riding that. That's a real painful thing.
Cover the hips, and he's gonna. So what the goal is he's gonna try to stick his head in the Wilmington wrestler's armpit, and then wrench the arm back, which looks painful, but it's actually not as bad as you think.
Right.
But now we've got some scrambling going on. It looks like the Bland wrestler got his head a little too high.
Cook was,
and that's what we call head hunting in the business.
Yes.
And so
Cook is trying to get his hips.
So the Blanchester wrestler is way out in front, and he needs to be covering up the hips, or he's exposing potential.
Logan Cook was looking like he was, and Logan Cook's a freshman against the district qualifier, and he's at 2-2, so that's pretty good, Mark.
Yeah, and so
arm bar by Burwanger, and he's going to try to get a half.
That's tough. Now he's going to step over the head for the, or he's just going to drive him straight over. Hey, whatever works for you, I guess. But he'd like to he can step over his head if he gets his other leg. There you go. Now he's just got to sit his hips down and pop his head up, and then that's the Wilmington wrestler is in a bad way here.
Whoa!
Wow, and he's able to
nice
just
job
loosen the grip
Logan
and break
Cook.
out. So that'll be 2 back points for the Bland. And for the Bland wrestler, and
an escape for.
Well, it looks like it should be in a reversal because it looks like it says, well, no green control. So
yeah, I don't think Cook. Oh,
now he's back on. So
Burwanger takes
him off. So actually, the Bland wrestler never lost control.
Right.
And so this is just a different pinning combination.
Ooh. So at 3:45 of the second period, Caden Burwanger picks up a pin for the
Wildcats.
The Wildcats
of Blanchester.
Of Bland. And
up next, 145 weight class, we have Trent Holliday for Wilmington
and Gage
Houston for the Bland Wildcats.
Trent Holliday is 11th grader, 2-3 on the season, and for Gage Houston, we have no information on him. Oh, Houston right off the bat goes for the single.
You got to finish. So what happened was he went to the single and he got splayed out flat. So that's why he's struggling to finish this takedown. But
he keeps his hips moving into him, and he almost made him pay.
So one of the big points. If you keep scrambling and keep moving, no points will be awarded. So now we got an inside tie here.
Now, when you see them tie up like this, Mark, of course, for our viewers, the man that keeps his arms inside on that tie-up is going to have the advantage as far as getting into the legs.
Yeah, we always stress inside control. So you always want to have your arms inside of theirs.
So head pressure by Cook.
And so you'll see both wrestlers kind of fighting.
Ooh, nice low single. If he can finish, just hasn't
kind of like the last.
He's moving his hips.
The Wilmington wrestler has a nice scramble going. Of course, we can't see much because the referee's in the way. But
Holliday's on his hip, and Houston, if he can, switches to the double.
Now he's got his hips all the way down. He's holding on to the ankle. He's doing a nice job.
Head pressure.
He's doing a nice job. Now Wilmington might come up with the takedown here.
I think he would. Holliday gets around.
Wow, no points awarded. I'm impressed.
Oh, there's a takedown.
Okay, so his head's really high, so the Bland wrestler is kind of eyeing for that. So he needs to scramble to his feet, but it's like the Wilmington wrestler is in control right now.
Yes.
It's really crunching on that arm. It must be a Clinton County move, Bill, because I've seen Massie do it a million times, and I got Blanchester wrenching on that arm.
Well, that tends. I think you see that in areas, Mark. I think that where kids wrestle in clubs, certain styles are predominant.
Now he's making a mistake here. He needs to get out.
Because now the Bland kid
there's no weight on his hips,
none whatsoever.
And so now he needs to back
stands
out.
up. If he can stand up, he's out. Yep, there we go, and just like that. Now,
so even though they're outside, he still had a toe in. So when he got the escape, they blew the whistle to be out.
2-1 in favor of
now he's
Trent Holiday.
What Trent needs to do is he needs to move his feet so those low singles don't get exposed.
Holiday,
at the end of the period, Holiday defers.
Holiday deferred. You want to explain what a deferral is to our fans?
So it's kind of like a coin toss in football or anything. Is you get a choice of what you want. You want top, like he is now, bottom or neutral.
Ooh, almost.
Or
got
you
the
can
suck
defer,
back.
which means you expect the match to go into the third period, and in the third period, you get the choice of top, bottom, neutral. And so depending on what the score is, a lot of wrestlers will pick, if it's an even match, you'll pick to defer to the third period.
Right.
So you have a choice. And so maybe if you're down by one, you take down so you can even it up, or you can get a reversal.
And, of course,
there's a slick possible takedown if he pops his head.
Holiday with another takedown.
Holiday's put the Blaine wrestler on his back here.
And another 2 points, so that's going to move it out to 6-2 with 1:24 to go in the second period.
So the referee counts 3. If your back is exposed at any point, shoulders are exposed to the mat at any point, they'll count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,003. That'll give you 2 near fall points. And if he gets to 5 seconds on your back, that's 3 near fall points.
Wrist control by.
And so now they've run themselves out of bounds with Holiday still in control, and so the Blaine wrestlers should be on the referee's position of bottom.
And you'll hear me say several times, when you have the choice, state champ always takes bottom, and that's always a philosophy that when my kids were wrestling.
When I was coaching, my mentality of being on bottom is when I was wrestling. Well, when I was wrestling, it was out of survival because I was outweighed by 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And so, but I wrestled my best when I was on bottom.
Right.
Because all you got to do is the mentality of don't stop moving and find your point.
And get away.
And so a reversal is 2 points, but an escape and a takedown is 3 points. And so I always tell my wrestlers, I was like, what's more points, 3 or 2?
And if they say 2, then we take them back a grade
Unless
level.
the wrestler is extremely talented at reversals, which
Right.
some are.
Oh, and he's
got
got
a
him in a cradle. Trent Holiday for Wilmington has got.
He's got
Gage
it's
Houston
not tight,
cradled
though.
up.
He should have
He's
had
going to get 3 out of
mat
that,
knee,
though.
his bottom knee in his side, which cinches the cradle up. And now he's still in control, but he doesn't have the pinning combination.
He's going to lose
now
that, so it's 9-3 in favor of Trent Holiday of Wilmington. And as time runs out, and low single again. He just has not finished that.
Catching him flat-footed, and so the referee calls potentially dangerous.
Now, why? Well, because he led with his head on that? And
It's if your ankle's going one way and your knee's going the other, then they kind of have to stop.
Okay, well, I was wondering because I thought.
Yeah. So it was for his leg.
Oh, there you go.
So,
and another one.
What the Bland wrestler is doing is catching him flat-footed, but the Holiday, the Wilmington wrestler, is a talented scrambler.
Right.
And so
what Houston's
that's
got to
really
do
good.
It's somewhere
shot.
He's got to learn how to take that low single and do something.
He's just got to finish it.
Right.
So he'll get into great position, but not finish it.
Right.
And so he needs to, as we call it, running south. And so he needs to run his body to the back of hit the opponent wrestler, which scores the takedown. But what he's doing is he's getting really deep on the shot and then sitting.
Right.
And that's a death sentence for your shot. You have to finish your shot.
So we go into the third period. Trent Holiday of Wilmington up 9-3. Gage Houston from Bland.
So now he's got to get his hips away. If you put your head anywhere near knee, you're going to ask to be cradled, which is the Bland wrestler's doing.
Right. He's trying to. And he slips it.
It's pretty slick, but he's still got the single.
He's got to stay with the single. And now if he can. Now he's got to do something with it because Holiday is going to get the half.
Now they've awarded the reversal to Holiday.
Right.
Because he's in control now, even though he's got his leg wrapped around.
Right. Now,
but
Gage Houston
if Houston can crawl up and keep his head up, they might give the reversal back because this might end up being a stalemate, which means neither wrestler can advance their position.
11-3 in favor of Trent Holiday of Wilmington. with a little over 1 minute to go in the match. And if he could keep on moving his hips over the top of him and cover him, Mark, he could pick up.
So what like I said, the referee is neither wrestler. The referee felt that neither wrestler could advance their position.
Right.
And so that's called a stalemate, and they'll reset in referee's position.
See that a lot more in college than you do in high school.
The scrambles in college wrestling are out of control. I saw a wrestler from Ohio State. He wrestled at Graham local, Bo Jordan, or was Micah, one of the two Jordans, have a 52-second scramble with an opponent wrestler from.
People don't understand how much energy that expends in wrestling when you're doing that. Well, and we've got another potential stalemate situation here.
Well, Houston needs to pop his head out if all possible to one side and get moving.
Pick him up.
He's been in this head down, butt up position most of the match here.
Yeah, just other than the low single, he has not had a bunch of offense, but he's got a chance here.
He needs to wrap and finish the double off or
go to double. Yeah, if he can double off on this.
Trent Holiday is a talented defender.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. That's why he's ahead 11-3 with about 15 seconds to go in the match. And now we've got clasping.
Stalling warning. No, it's a stalling warning.
Okay.
So, yeah, he was just trying to reset the position by pulling him out of bounds.
And so 9 seconds to go, 11-3, Trent Holiday.
And so what the Bland wrestlers or Bland coaches are yelling is Houston needs to get one in order to make it a minor victory and not a major victory.
Right.
Which is all about team points, because right now the match is razor thin at 18-12.
Right. And that 1 point could end up being the decision maker.
So they kind of accepted the fact that
Houston's got to get away, but no, return to the mat by Holiday.
Seconds. Ooh, and they didn't see the locking hands.
And Holiday is going to come away.
They awarded it as the buzzer.
Wow.
They awarded the escape at the buzzer.
11-4. Now, Mark will explain why that was crucial here. And so that's
what that does is,
win.
Yeah, it's all about the team points. And if you have, the wrestling matches that we've seen on Mat 1 have not been as close, but this one's going to be a barn burner. And so what that ends up with is because the Blanchester wrestler got that point, that was a 3-point team for team points instead of 4. And with it being razor thin as it is, at 21-12,
it should be 22.
Every point matters.
They only gave him 3 on that, so that's going to be changed. It should be. Oh no, you're right. You're right.
So it's a minor victory.
He got
for
away.
3 points.
So yeah,
yes.
he got away.
Minor victory for 3 points. Major is 4.
Right. So 21-12, and we have got Clayton Shermer, who is a district qualifier for Blanchester.
Yeah, Clayton's a pretty talented kid. I've seen him. I recall him in previous matches.
And Dalton Garrison for Wilmington. We'll get some information on Garrison. Garrison is a 10th grader, 2-3. He was out last year with an injury is the information we have on him. Shermer was a
district qualifier.
Right? And right away, Shermer took control of this in the first 30 seconds. He's got a wrist.
Looks like he's got the right amount of aggressiveness and technique, because sometimes you'll have a wrestler that's way too aggressive and loses position really fast, just as fast as they gain it. But it looks like he has got that nice balance of technique and aggression. So
Shermer's got a leg in there. And, I've noticed Bland.
Looks like he's getting the wrist in the leg, which is...
Yeah, Bland seems to like...
Now that's a smart wrestler, is anytime you see a head anywhere near a knee, you got to scoop up a cradle.
Scoop them up
cradle. So
put them on their back.
All right, and sometimes you're frustrated with not being able to do much on top, and so you kick them out. Well, that's a nice slick shot. He's just got to finish.
Garrison gets a deep shot, but he's not finishing. This is kind of like the reverse of the last match.
Right, but it looks like he's trying for position, but just gave it up.
Shermer,
but he bounces up to his knees, so he's fighting off bottom.
So 4-1 in favor of.
He throws
Clayton
the double
Shermer.
boots. Now he's going to hip into him. Yep, he's going to hip into him, try to run a half.
And the breakdown. And if you see him put the neck pressure,
stuff the head.
If he can suck that, he's got this is bad here for.
Yeah, he was in a bad way. As soon as he put the double boots in and hipped in, it was a terrible position for the Wilmington wrestler. So
6-4 Blanchester. That kicks it out to 18 for Bland, 21 for Wilmington. And this will take us to Colton Conover, a freshman for Bland, will be wrestling against Isaac Allen. Isaac Allen is 6-1 on this year, Mark. Last year, 3rd in sectionals, 5th in district, state alternate. He's a senior. And we've got Colton that's what their coach told me he was going to be wrestling here for us. So Colton Conover, the freshman, a well-built kid too. You see him come out there. He's definitely competitive here. And then we've got.
I remember Isaac Allen. Allen is a very talented wrestler. I remember seeing him last year at our duel, just kind of have his way through most of. It was a try match and have his way through both of the East Clinton and the I think it was Washington Courthouse wrestlers.
So nice shot. He's got to finish it. Can he finish? Whoa. Conover fights it off well. Conover would have
so he
little scramble there.
Went to the head and arm.
And rolled through it.
Any kind of talented wrestler, any kind of self-aware wrestler is going to roll right through a head and arm. So
absolutely.
It's a nice scramble for both of them, though.
And the thing about a head and arm is a very junior high type of move.
Well, when it's run poorly.
Right.
High school wrestlers, you start with an underhook, and you're able to wrench and do other things that aren't just kind of like forcing it in there and tossing
just
it.
Trying to toss them out.
Yeah, it's more of a hip toss, and the high school version is a little more technical, a little more cranking on the head and arm than throwing the head and arm. But that was definitely a junior high throw.
Yes. 2 points for Allen.
And so there's the reason the head and arm is a poor move and a desperation move is because there's so many ways to counter it.
Right.
All you got to do is pop the elbow off your head. You can wrap around the waist and just kind of roll through. There's a million. We practice head and arm defense all the time because a lot of the Clinton County schools, in Claremont County schools, not just Clinton County schools, will use the move. Claremont County uses a lot more, but that's the majority of our league this year, so we definitely got to make sure we defend the head and arm.
Head and arm.
But yeah, that's exact. Isaac Allen did a perfect job of just kind of rolling right through the head and arm.
Right. Conover tried to step over, but Allen countered it. Allen's trying to suck back.
So he caught him. He was trying to hip heist away, but
he
Allen
could have him now.
And Allen should. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's
Once
on.
Allen was on his knees, and then he went to his feet and on his toes, and now Conover's in a bad way here.
Reverse headlock.
He caught him in a hip heist. So he's doing a great job of fighting off his back here.
He sure is. He's still got a long way. He's got 15 seconds
Allen needs to get
go.
off his. Yeah, there you go. Allen needs to get on his toes.
Got to stretch it. So at 1:49 to go in the first period, Isaac Allen picks up his 7th win of the year by pin, and that's going to boost the score out to 27-18 in favor of Wilmington.
Yeah, and so what you'll hear by the bench over here at Wilmington is win by pin. And so that's what you need to do because the pins are the 6 point for team points, and everything else is 5 or under. So, and
both teams are pretty full. Wilmington has 13 out of 14 positions filled, and Blanchester has.
Depending on their weights, we could have a match at one of those, or
right.
just take the double forfeits, depending on what coaches do.
Right. So here we've got Cannon Ford wrestling 170 for Wilmington against Romario Torres, or Torres, I should say. And Torres
probably. Yeah, looks like it's a big fight. Looks like it's a big scramble for position here.
Torres is used a lot of power there, and he's just
scrambling until he goes south. There you go. Oh. So they're going to sometimes they stop
headgear
it.
Comes off.
Yeah, in case the headgear starts choking a kid out or blinds them and they can't see.
When the headgear's coming off and they're purple, that's not a good sign.
Nope, not at all.
So, okay, so Romario.
Oh, so the blank coach didn't know why they stopped it, and he mentioned it was the headgear. So
yeah. So still 0-0, 30 seconds gone in the first period.
Both scrambling for position here. Looks like he faked the shot and then went to the front headlock.
And Romario's getting he likes that front headlock, but now if Ford get off his knees, he's just got to pick him up a little bit.
Hey, it's kind of you'll ruin any kind of offense if you're on your knees.
Yep. And you'll hear
so he just scrambled, and then
so Torres picks up the takedown, so it's 2-0. 2-0 in favor of Blanchester.
Mr. Ford,
Romario Torres.
Romario Torres, and so he's working to break him down. Now the goal is to get him down to his hips. Okay, and so any good wrestler is going to pop up like Ford did.
Cannon Ford Let's see a little bit about Cannon Ford, a junior. 3-3, out last year with an injury.
Ooh.
So
he's looking to make a solid comeback in 2017, 2018.
And Torres, we have no information about. So kind of flying blind on this one, Mark.
Yep. So now he's kind of hugging the hip here and trying to work for position. There it is. There's that arm snag and that hip over.
Although I will say this, Torres looks pretty good. I mean,
So that's prime example of how you stop that. The big man roll there is to just sink your hips down and it prevents it from going over. So
tries to get the suck back. I'm Ford,
but now he's got an arm bar. He's got his arm in his back pocket. Saved by the out of bounds.
Too many points out of bounds. You want to talk about what the points out of bounds, so they understand why people they determine is when they blow the whistle.
And so actually it's a little unique now. They've changed it, and so you can have if your opponent in a pinning combination, if your opponent is 100% out of bounds, they used to only give you back points and there's no pins. But now, as long as you have 2 points down, which maybe is a knee and a toe,
or
both
two
knees,
toes,
or 2 toes, you have I think it might be. It has to be a knee or a hip. I don't think it can be 2 toes for a pin.
Okay.
I'm sorry, for a pin.
For a pin.
But so you got to have at least control with at least I think 2 points because you can take a guy down out of bounds, and if you drag both your toes across the inbounds, they'll still award you the takedown.
Right.
But yeah, when you're scrambling out of bounds and there's no points of contact anywhere, that's when they'll normally just blow the whistle and reset you in the middle.
And to let our fans know, in the past, if their shoulder blades were out of bounds, then they could not be awarded a pin. They could get back points.
But then they would force the wrestler to reset himself.
Right. And he's got an arm bar in there.
Now, he's got the wrist in the bar
and he's
twisting the gable in the bar. So all he's got to do is walk to his head and sink his hips.
He's got to get that leg through.
There it is.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have hold of the arm anymore. No. So, but
Ford is in a bad. Well,
yeah. See,
if Ford's smart, he'll just.
He should grab that. Grab his shoulder and pull himself up, but it looks like he's not doing that.
Yeah.
Yep. No. So because the Blanchester wrestler didn't have the arm, or he got the wrist removed, that's why Ford was able to belly down and not get pinned.
Right. So
still in control for Blanchester.
I think they gave the wrong points to the wrong person there because Torres picked up those 3. There we go.
So
5-0 in favor of Torres of Blanchester. Cannon Ford, he dodged the bullet on that one, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ford. Got a little whizzer action there.
Whizzer in, so the arm is across him, and he's kind of cranking down on his arm.
He's got quarter Nelson.
So this might be a reversal.
Oh, Ford can get around.
If he can break that grip on his leg and
push the head away.
Oh, the referee does award the 2.
So
which is something I don't referee, but what that can potentially lead to if you give a reversal that early is a reversal right back.
Right.
And so you'll see that a lot at the junior high level where you'll have reversals flying everywhere because the kids can't settle on a
You got to get your calculator out to keep track of the points.
Right.
Come fast and furious.
It's like a 70s disco in junior high matches sometimes with the when the referees are rolling their wrists.
Do the hustle.
Now we've got locking
Cannon
hands.
Ford's locking hands.
So that means when they have
a break in
when
the
they're
action.
when they're on their way, when the bottom wrestler is on his way up, you can't clasp your hands around unless it's a pinning combination.
So 6-2,
and so that's a technical violation. 1 point awarded for Torres.
Now let me ask you this, Mark: if you get clasping, then you get stalling.
So is
it for each offense or is it a total?
Each time it's a technical violation. So it can be 2 stallings. You get a warning and a stall.
And then a clasping.
You can get they call it locking hands.
Right.
Okay, the clasping, they call it locking hands. You can get like some, if you potentially dangerous, like a poke in the eye or some kind of
slam.
Some kind of slam.
Right.
The technical violations, it's a 1 point, 1 point, 2 points, and then you're disqualified. Okay, so if you have a warning stalling and then a point for stalling, and then you get locking hands twice, that's 1 point for your stalling, 1 point for your locking hands, 2 points for the second locking hands, and if you do something else, then you're disqualified from the match. You could be winning 14-1 or 13, and if you get that disqualification, you lose.
Reversal here by Ramiro Torres of Blanchester pushes his lead out to 8-2. And this is the point in that second period, Mark.
Ford's got to get his elbows in and work his way to his knees.
And if he
so
can
there
get
you go,
that
he's
wrist,
snatching that arm.
This is what got him in trouble last time.
So he's through Ramiro just he tried to put a boot in, so probably going to get a wrist.
He's got a wrist.
He's really fighting for that wrist and arm bar here.
Yeah. And he's had it twice, so why not? Might as well take a look and see if he can.
He fought for the half, but he's got to get his hips back. So
he's got
and now he's got a cradle in. So he noticed the half he was too high on the half, and so he slid back behind the hips, which is great mat awareness.
Oh, if he could. Oh! Whoa, a little roll through. That's kind of a dangerous move. As we talked about defensive pins, you can get stuck in that.
Especially those slow ones like that one.
Yeah. Exactly right. So a little less than a minute gone, or a little over a minute gone in this period. 8-2 in favor of Ramiro Torres of Blanchester over Cannon Ford of Wilmington.
So he's going to tight waist near ankle here, and he's going to try. And Cannon Ford tried the switch. Okay, he's got to keep his hips off the mat. That's the goal.
Could get a suck back here. Nope. Yeah. Every time they've been in that situation, Torres has been able to capitalize on an arm bar, so we'll see if he's able to do that again.
There it is. He's got his arm in the back pocket.
Yeah.
So if he scrambles, though, it's a good job of Ford scrambling, but we'll see. If
Ford staying alive here at this point. Cannon Ford
push the head down and
up.
sprawling crossface. Oh, he's
still got an opportunity to get a point here, I think.
There you go, two. That's two.
Said he's out of bounds.
So in the process of, why that was a 1-point escape and not a reversal is because in the process of the reversal, both wrestlers went out of bounds. So as he was gaining control, he went out of bounds before he had full control.
Right.
And so the referees normally award 1 for escaping instead of the full 2 for the reversal. And
this is now if Torres pushes that head down and can get around here. But that's the end of the period.
That was a tough match. It was an impressive match by both wrestlers.
Yeah. So
Ford was not going away quietly in that entire match.
Ramiro Torres of Blanchester picks up a
3-point minor victory.
So that pushes it out to 27 for Wilmington and 21 for Bland. And our next match will be Stephen Latchford, a district qualifier for Blanchester,
against Tristan Barnes.
And let's see.
Tristan 182 weight class.
And Tristan Barnes, see if we can find information. I don't know. We kind of looks like we don't have anything on him. Kind of just jumps.
Looks like the 95 or
it's Brady Bergfeld.
Looks like we don't have.
So Tristan Barnes of Wilmington.
Oh, that was that a forfeit? Well, I'm looking at this. I don't know.
Well, Stephen Latchford should be coming out at 182. I think that is Latchford there. So
okay.
Latchford and Barnes. Latchford is a district qualifier.
Looks like Mr. Barnes has a
tough match ahead of him.
Yeah, and a knee issue. He's got the sleeve and
Latchford underhooks. To get inside position, if he can keep that, he can do a lot of things there. High crotch.
Underhook. There you go. Now they're going to reset. See, he is kind of. If you notice that. Head and arm. Good. I'm glad that he let go of that. So now he's going to try to jack up these underhooks.
Going to try to throw them.
Yep.
Oh!
So there you go. Yeah, he's going to jack up. So you get him way out of position by lifting up higher than he is, and it's a really beneficial move for a kid that's taller than, for kids that are shorter than you.
Tristan Barnes, 2-0 over Stephen Latchford.
And now it's 2-1 with the escape there. He couldn't really hold him down. Looks like Latchford didn't really appreciate being taken down, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, he might be a little bit upset at this point. But you never know. We don't know anything about Tristan Barnes here. So
going again for the underhooks.
Barnes is, nice.
Nice little slide by over the arm
Yep.
and takedown for 2.
Yeah, that was
So he just kind of elevated Barnes' arm and kind of slid his head underneath and
little duck
was able to
under
bring it down.
action.
Yeah,
First, now the problem for Barnes is he can't just.
so he's on his hip, though. The worst part, he's on his hip.
He
might be high priced. No,
he's got his hips over him. He's got his weight distributed, and Latchford is in a really good position
He
here.
just needs to force his hips down farther than that. There you go.
So,
so he ended up in that takedown on his hip, which was already the worst one of the worst positions you could be in on the mat.
Exactly. So 1:32 to go of the first period, and Stephen Langford picks up the victory, which pushes it out to. Something's wrong here. I have 27-27, but I guess we'll find out, huh?
Yep. Looks like this is the 195 weight class. James Peterson of Blanchester taking on Brady Burkford of Wilmington. And Burkford.
Peters is also a district qualifier here.
And Burkford is a senior at Wilmington, 1-0 on his 2017-18 season.
Nice. Peters takes him right down. He's working around.
Peters with a nice little arm drag for a takedown, and he's
looking for a butcher there. He was trying to screw him into the mat, but
so he's looking. He's got that near wrist, and so he's got the head towards the knee, and so he's looking for the cradle. Now he's got the arm underneath,
and that's a sign
his
of
arms. That's the sign for half. Now he's just trying to take big steps and trying to wrench this half across.
Needs to stretch him out a little bit. He's the one there balled up.
He needs to get him on his hip before he starts. But now there you go.
Now he's got him.
There it is. So once he got him on his hip, that means he's going over. Now
he's able to step through with that.
He needs to take big steps towards his head. That's a great job of getting back to your base, though, by Burkford.
You know, the impressive thing here for Peters is you saw him switch from move to move to move to try to take him over. And that's a sign of an experienced wrestler.
So that's what I tell the kids all the time is you got to take what your opponent gives you.
Right.
Okay. So if you can't force a half if it's not there.
Yeah. So you switch it up and go to your next.
You can't force an arm bar if it's not there. So he was kind of switching back and forth from arm bars to halves to whatever
Well, too many kids get bread and butter moves, and if it doesn't work, then they don't know where they're going from there.
Right, and they don't have it. So you need you need to have a number 1 and number 2, possibly even number 3 takedown, and from every position. Okay, or you need to do a combination of both.
Exactly. 30 seconds to go in the period. 5-0 in favor of James Peters over Tristan Barnes.
It's an interesting referee's position for Burkford. He had his feet crossed almost like a reverse Indian style, kind of, but. I'm not sure how fast you can get for that, but hey, honestly, whatever's most comfortable for you on the bottom is what you should be doing.
Oh, Brady Burkford. I've been calling him Tristan Barnes. I apologize to Mr. Burkford. Brady Burkford.
So,
cradle.
No points will be awarded because that wasn't enough time.
So we move into the second period, 5-0 in favor of James Peters of Blanchester over Brady Burkford of Wilmington. And
so Peters just chose down. It was his decision. Actually, I think Burkford won the flip there, and I think deferred to the third period. And so Peters from Blanchester chose down.
Peters right up to his feet.
He's got to get positioned.
Doesn't know how to reach back, though, like that. That's not never.
Not good. He's got to keep moving.
Got the inside leg. If he turns and faces him.
He didn't cover his hips well enough, and so he just got to step over, pop his head out, and he's going to get the reversal here.
Yeah.
Burford's he's sort of in control, but he won't be for long. This is not a
Peters keeps on moving.
His hips. There you go. As soon as he gets that arm out, he's going to pop his head out.
Oh, and he's got a half. Oh,
he could be getting the half.
Good move there.
So potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Oh, he
looks like he wrenched that shoulder.
And that could be a separation. Wow, what a change of events this could be.
Looks like he's not moving that shoulder at all. Looks like he's struggling.
It looks like it might be out. He just can't move it.
That was I mean, he was doing what he was trained to do. He's trying to pop that arm through and trying to pop his head out.
Yeah, he's moving it now,
which would have gave him an easy half or a win. But
right. Really, at this point, Mark, where does that go? Is it really up to the trainer, or do they let the kid decide in this situation?
I think it's a combination of both. Kind of the trainer obviously can look at the injury and make their. I mean, it's their decision.
Right.
But if it's something that's like do what you can do type deal, which is what athletic trainer Kerry Terrell has just decided here. It looks like it was up to the Mr. Peters here for if he's going to continue wrestling or not. So looks like he's going to tough it out and keep wrestling.
1:25 to go in second period, 5-0 in favor of James Peters.
Now he's got to get his hips up. It's almost the exact same position, except for now he actually popped his head off. So he's got to get his hips across.
His hips over, and he's got the half in. And if he can get chest to chest with him,
Burkford's
he's a roly-poly guy.
Well, yeah, he's not stopped. That's the thing is he's not stopped moving.
Right.
What?
So, I don't know if it was.
So technical violation on.
I think
Blanchester.
Okay, he's going to kick him
out. I'm not sure what the technical violation was.
It might have been clasping on that.
Sometimes they don't announce it. They usually let him wrestle a little bit, but now, so he was down, and the Blanchester Peters decided to go neutral,
kick him out, and
which gives Wilmington a free point, but they start neutral.
Oh, and if he gets around, that's going to change the whole match if he gives up a takedown.
I think that's that hurt shoulder too. That's wrenching on that leg of Burkford.
Oh,
so
he's got a little Peterson.
Oh,
Peterson
if he can snatch that head, it's going to be, unless he rolls through. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's a 2-point takedown at the very minimum.
Now he's got a wrist and a half, though. He's got a wrist and a half, and he's on his hip, so.
He's got to walk to the head, Mark.
He's got to slide.
He just, that's the problem.
He needs to take it slow and slide it down and get his hips down and eyes up, and that's should be a pin for Mr. Peters here.
With 20 seconds to go in the second period, and James Peters. Wow.
16 seconds left in the second period.
And the pin goes to
James Peters.
According to our scoreboard, this is going to move it out to 39-27. I've got it at 33-27.
Well, they have it up here, updated 33-27.
Oh, they kept it there. Okay. Because I was going to say they had it. No, see?
Okay.
But if you look here.
I didn't know you for a numbers guy there, Bill.
Yeah. I'm ciphering. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. So in terms of the what we have for team scores, it was.
So then I just gave Wilmington 3 more points. Oh, it's okay.
So we had 27-27 going into that match. Now we've got a forfeit at 285. By Wilmington, and a forfeit at 106 by Blanchester. So that's 6 points awarded each side.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
45-33.
Final score, Blanchester wins.
Blanchester wins. So they move on to wrestle Clinton-Massie for the championship. And then after the junior high round, Wilmington will meet East Clinton for the championship of the varsity meet. So, good match there, Mark. That was.
Yeah, I was impressed by both squads.
We'll see. I mean, it's kind of hard to evaluate if that. You never know in these kind of tournaments. Sometimes the best 2 teams meet in the first round.
Right. Yep.
And you just have no control over that kind of draw.
Kind of like Alabama and Ohio State in 14 college football playoff.
Very true. Very true. And so you just don't know. Could be this year, too. Alabama and Clemson could be, you never know.
As long as it's not an all-SEC final, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I went out on my ESPN Challenge poll, and I've got Oklahoma winning it. I changed it up, and I said I had Oklahoma beating Clemson in the championship game. And, Oklahoma seems to be, they're not Soonering this year like they normally do. and Baker Mayfield has.
I think that's the biggest difference is the
coaching.
The coaching and the just the play, the little mistakes that Mayfield made last year.
He's not making this year.
Yeah. He just there's very.
And you would
few,
hope.
I mean, the only mistakes he's made is being a knucklehead on the sideline. That's about it.
Yeah. And you would hope that as you go into your senior year that you mature to the point you're not going to hurt your team.
I was going to say mature, but he didn't really. Usually they mature from their junior to senior year, but looks like he regressed in terms of maturity.
Which is going to be an issue for him when it comes to the draft. Not to mention his height.
I'm sure the Browns will pick him up.
Oh, jeez. You just kicked me. Oh, man. Yeah, that would be what we would do. But
now my Browns friends have had several scenarios where the Browns could end up with the number 1 and number 2 overall picks this year in the draft if the Texans keep losing. Because they have that first round pick from the Texans.
I saw Todd McShay's 1.0.
Todd McShay, good God.
And he had Cleveland taking, yes. Okay, we're going to take a break here for a minute, and we will be back when the junior high matches start. So for Mark Scovan,
106.9 WZAA-LP, Jeffersonville.
Oh, that's funny.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest-growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
Yeah.
Long way to go between now and then, though, in my book.
Well, yeah, that's true. Busy schedule.
You guys are even. You're even, correct? Wilmington is even. So put a mark out of 98, 110, every other starting 98.
So we're back here. We're going to be starting the.
This should be a good match over here, the varsity.
Oh yeah, I think. Yeah, it should be. We've got in the consolation match here for East Clinton and Wilmington. So
Wilmington will not wrestle Massey tonight. It's just the 2 winners against the 2.
now what'll happen is we're going to have on the varsity, it'll be East Clinton and Wilmington for 3rd place, and then Blanchester and Massey will wrestle for 1st place.
So in other words, what I'm saying is Wilmington didn't wrestle Massey tonight.
No, it's not a round robin. So yeah, so at this point now, just the winners will meet and the losers meet. Yeah. So in this match, we've got Cooper Rack of East Clinton, 7th grader at 5-4, took 4th at North College Hill, and he is up against. This would be, well, as I see it, this would actually be Cooper Rack at 92 against Thane McCoy. And it is 4-1 in favor of Thane McCoy. McCoy's got an arm bar in. He's got it tight as he tries to stretch Rack out. Now, he's got wrist control, walking to the head. If he scoops the head here with his foot, he's getting back exposure points. Thane McCoy adding to his 4-1 lead here in the first period. And he's got it tight. And that is a pin at 1:16 to go in the first period. Thane McCoy picks up the victory for Wilmington. And that makes the team score 6-0. So we've got Carson Hibbs will receive a forfeit for Wilmington, which will make it 12-0 at 98 pounds. Then at 104, St. John Allen will pick up a forfeit win, which will push it out to 18-0. We'll have no wrestlers at 110 pounds on either side. And then we've got Zach Vest for East Clinton at 116 pounds against Logan Salatin of Wilmington. So let's take a look at Zach Vest. Zach Vest's record is 6-5. He's an 8th grader. Took 3rd at North College Hill. And right off the bat, Salatin gets inside. He's got leg control, but they're still scrambling and no points awarded yet. Salatin's trying to spin and get around, but Vest is able to fend him off, and that should be 2 points for Salatin. Vest right up to his feet with wrist control. And again, back to the middle, 2-0 in favor of Logan Salatin over Zach Vest of East Clinton. Salatin on top. 55 seconds to go in the first period. Takes Vest down to the mat. Vest continues, gets up to his feet, gets wrist control. Salatin returns him to the mat. Again, returns Vest to the mat. And he just keeps on. Little scrambling going on here. Zach Vest continually standing up, and Logan Salatin returning him to the mat. So with 38 seconds go in the first period, 2-0 in favor of Logan Salatin of Wilmington. Salatin goes to the ankle, working his way up. Vest is back up to his feet, but gets returned to the mat by Salatin. Vest back up to his feet again. Salatin brings him back down to the mat. So we get this recurring theme. 19 seconds to go in the first period, and an escape by Zach Vest. So that makes it 2-1 in favor of Logan Salatin with under 10 seconds to go in the first period. Low single by Salatin, but Vest stretches him out. Good head pressure. And so 2-1 at the end of the first period in favor of Logan Salatin. And Mark Scovanner has returned. the Scove.
I had to try my hand at the
Had to throw some
famous East Clinton concession stand.
There you go. So Logan Salatin on top to begin the second period. And Zach Vest, we've had quite the scrambling match here, Mark.
It looks like the score is 2-1.
Yeah. Salatin got a quick takedown, and then Zach Vest continually stood up, kept on working, and eventually got away, and brings us to our 2-1 score right now. Salatin is just kind of lazily hanging on at top. He could get busted for stalling here, Mark, if he doesn't start making some offensive moves. He gets a little, and another point for Zach Vest, so we're at 2-2 with 55 seconds to go.
And that's perfect position, down 2-1 to start on the bottom.
Yep. Oh, good
Zach
double.
needs to get his hips back.
But Zach did get his
Stuff
pushes
his head.
the head
if
away.
He blocks that arm. If he blocks that arm, he's able to scores 2 points.
Yep. He's got to
Needs
get
to block the arm.
good head pressure.
He took his hip to the
down
mat.
on his hip, and it looks like Salatin's position to pick up a
see,
takedown.
that's when you need to give up. See right there is when you need to give up the 2 instead of the back points because Zach was in
bad way there.
Bad way. He could have easily been turned for a pin.
Now Zach could stand up right here. 4-2 in favor of Logan Salatin.
And he's over his elbows in. See, he's kind of fighting on one hip right there, which is, again, it's poor position by Vest.
Zach needs
to get his head up. He needs to pinch that, look it away, and he's got about 5 seconds. Hopefully he doesn't get any back points here. But
yeah, I think he's going to get through here.
And he's going to ends up with no back points.
I think he came back.
Okay,
he
so
came
the referee
back,
says
so,
he was teetering back and forth.
Yep.
So there was no full 2 seconds on his back, or 3 seconds on his back. So
4-2 in favor of Logan Salatin of Wilmington over Zach Vest of East Clinton. We go into the third period. Good match so far, Mark. Okay, Zach Vest is in the top position. He's got a half.
His hips are down, so good. That's a great job of jumping the sides, but he's got to slow it down.
He's got to be patient in what he's trying to do here. He needs to stretch him out a little bit.
Yeah, he needs to get him flat on his hip because he's in danger of locking hands too there.
Right.
So he needs to stay behind the hips. He's doing a nice job of that. Okay, he needs to slow it down. Is what
he's getting his hips too far.
He's scrambling. He's scrambling.
Oh, he gives up the inside leg, and he's got to get his hips around. He's got to use head pressure.
I always say punch him with your hips. So literally, hit him as hard as you can with your hip and keep the pressure down.
But nice job by Zach Vest. Is fighting it off here.
He's still got the leg. He needs to keep his head up.
Zach's got to get his hips. Yeah, he's got to reestablish position.
He's going to pop his head, and he's going to put a half in right there.
That's going to be 2 points for Logan Salatin.
He's got a near fall in.
And so Zach Vest going to need to scramble hard here in the last 30 seconds.
So he's not awarding the points yet because the move hasn't changed.
Right.
So once the position changes, then he's going to award
Zach
the back
gets to
points.
his base, then they'll...
Yep. So as soon as he got to his knees there, he awarded the points.
And then the half is back in by Salatin. Salatin is going... He's looking to finish this thing, Mark, here.
He's fighting down.
Zach
no
Vest
points awarded.
Gamely fighting him off with under 5 seconds to go. And it will end up, it looks like 11-2 will be the final here.
And see, that's so critical and such a building opportunity for Vest is every time he was near his back, he never stopped fighting. He never got pinned.
Nice job by Zach Vest for East Clinton, and of course Logan Salatin.
It's a good little job of wrestling by Salatin. He never he stayed patient and he took what Vest gave him and he capitalized on every opportunity.
Well, you look at that. Zach Vest isn't that far. I mean, that was a competitive match, even though the score might not indicate it. A little more polish on Zach, and he's going to be right there. So looks like we've got Connor Day for East Clinton at 122 against Lee Lynch.
This is Rosenworth, actually.
Oh, Braden Rosenworth.
Well, Connor Day is currently getting his stuff off, so...
Yeah, it's supposed to be...
I'm not sure what Rosenworth is doing.
Unless they bumped all these kids, which we never know. But
so
Connor
Braden
Day.
Rosenworth is a little
he was
overly
a
excited.
little premature.
Oh, we got a couple forfeits. Okay, I see. That's why they're running out.
Oh, so
looks
Connor
like,
Day would get the forfeit. Maybe Lee Lynch is moving up to...
Looks like there's... Yep, here we go. Looks like Lee Lynch possibly is moving up to 128.
So Connor Day is has a pretty nice record on the year, I believe. 8-2.
8-2.
Fifth at North College Hill. So now we've got Braden
Rosenworth is a real seeking his first win on the year. He's a second-year wrestler. He is
taken down to the mat.
He doesn't have a lot of body awareness yet. Kind of awkward when he's on the mat, but that just comes with time and experience. So hopefully Braden doesn't get discouraged with his record and stays at it. And
Braden has got his hips down, so after a rocky start, he's stabilizing a little bit here.
He's keep his head up and
that could have been a full Nelson.
Yeah, he was. So the Wilmington, what you got to do is you got to run your half on the same side you're on. And so you're always in danger of a full Nelson, which is potentially dangerous. If you run the half on the opposite side that you were in,
right,
you end up trying to force the other one, which ends up being
right. So 2-1 in favor of.
He's got to stop reaching back.
Yeah. Then that's a fatal flaw for young wrestlers. They always want to reach back, which opens the door up for bad things like half Nelsons and arm bars.
And for some reason, it's such a natural movement to try to get somebody that's off of you by reaching back
just
behind
to push
you.
them off, and it doesn't work very well.
It never works, nope.
So, Braden Rosenworth of East Clinton is down 2-1 to Lee Lynch, and Lynch has got that tight. And so at 1:03 to go in the first period, Lee Lynch of Wilmington with the pin. And that moves the team score out to 28-6.
Not a bad bit of wrestling by Mr. Lynch there.
Now, Matt Horn, I believe, will get a forfeit for East Clinton.
This is Michael Horn.
Michael Horn. Oh, Michael Horn. I'm sorry, his brother.
Yep.
So 28-12. We'll have a double forfeit at 1:42. Now we'll get Ethan Kessler and Hunter Davis of Wilmington. And Kessler, Matt Horn, by the way, was
Michael Horn.
Michael Horn is 6-4, fourth at North College Hill this year. He did win a match at the OIC High School District.
Took third in the league last year.
And then Ethan Kessler is 10-3 this year, fourth at Batavia, third at North College Hill, and so that brings Ethan up here. Now you say, Mark, he's not real experienced kid, but
this is third year wrestling. He's another kid that's really aggressive, but kind of doesn't know what to do with it once he's got it. And so hopefully with just experience, he'll be able to polish
on that.
Yeah, a little polish. He'll be. I see a real bright future for Ethan Kessler in this program. So
very good.
He's 10-3. Got fourth at Batavia, third at North College Hill. So he's got some wins under his belt. Let's see if he can improve that.
So Kessler.
So he's a
big, powerful kid.
Yeah, real strong kid. So real speedy kid, but he's just got to nail down that technique, and there's probably not going to be a lot of kids that will stop him this year.
Yeah.
So right now they're just fighting for in control. He's
gets inside,
wrist control.
He picks it up. He's going to get the double. Nice double.
If he reaches up, he's going to sink the half.
Oh,
it's a nice job by the Wilmington wrestler to belly down hard.
Yep.
So now he's on top, and he's just trying to pull and twist anything he can when he needs to be under the arms.
So 2-0 in favor of Ethan Kessler of East Clinton over Hunter Davis of Wilmington. And now this
Davis
is where
a nice job fighting. So right now
there's where the inexperience.
He's putting himself out of position. He's the wrestler's flat, and he's trying to force the cradle.
Right.
When he just needs to put him on his hip and run a half. But I think with any inexperienced junior high kid, you're like, my best move is the cradle, so I have to run a cradle.
Right.
And so that's kind of what he's
right.
trying
And we
to
talked
force
about that as kids have to be able to switch up, which will be an experience thing for him. Kessler keeps on bumping him over. He's got
the wrist in. Now he just needs to jump the side and get the half in.
He can get the head. He's banging on the head.
He's
just keep that, and if you've ever wrestled.
There it is. Now he just needs the. Hunter's doing a nice job of looking away from it.
He's got chest to chest.
But he's no points or 2 points. No points.
So 2-0.
That is a great job by the Wilmington wrestler, Hunter Davis, of not giving up any points, even though the takedown was so early in the period.
I think he's going to go neutral. So choice by Ethan Kessler. He says, I want to go neutral. Coach, I took him down last time. I think I can take him down again.
There you go.
And
Wasn't like the C&E
oh, he got the
half, and he needs to put the half. And he needs
he
to reach
reaches
right arm.
over the head. He's got him.
He needs to reach his right arm over and just kind of sit with the half on and slide his chest. See, right now his chest is on the stomach. He needs his chest on the other guy's chest.
Chest on chest, and he just needs to.
Hunter doing a nice job of defending it.
Yeah, he did. So a 5-point move there for Ethan Kessler, which pushes out to 7-0.
Yeah, and a lot of times
Now, what was did they give him a?
They gave him an earfall. They gave him an earfall for the.
No, why the one? Oh no, it's 8-0. Okay, so it's 8-0 in favor of Ethan Kessler over Mike Davis of Wilmington.
Hunter Davis.
Jeez.
You'll get it.
I'm somewhere.
Maybe 2018 County Duels you'll get it.
Yeah.
All the names will change.
They'll all change again. So Ethan Kessler riding. He's got a half. Oh, he rolls. Gets him through. If he could reverse that half, he'd pick up that elbow. Oh. And Hunter Davis changes the course here really quick. He's going to have to figure out he's got to fight through that.
Yeah,
he's got to
fight.
Now he's got to stand
get
up,
to
Mark.
his knees.
That's
a great job by Hunter Davis.
Hunter Davis moved his
reverse
hips
and
in.
keep the hips. Now he's got to fight hard. There you go. That's a great job of Kessler by bellying down, but boy, that's great wrestling by Hunter Davis.
Hunter Davis is able to pick up 3 points to the back.
So now it's a whole new ball game. It is
9-5.
It's 9-5. There's your double. He's got to turn the corner.
Oh, and he takes him down.
Yep, there's your double.
He kicks him out again. 11-6.
Ethan Kessler's a football kid too, so
yeah.
It's good to see as a football coach these tackles.
So Kessler is kind of winded right here. I think he's going to.
They're both struggling in the conditioning department. So
they're both spent there.
Yeah, they're both struggling in the conditioning department. So
11-5 at the end of the second period. It's Davis's choice. And of course, takes down. He's down by 6.
A little conversation from ref to ref and
hey.
scoreboard. But hey, as long as it gets right,
that's right.
Yeah.
It's got to be better.
They need the tiny iPad that the pros use. The referee.
I was going to say, as long as it's better than the NFL instant replay, we're in good shape. Oh, the half Kessler. Now, if he can get off to the side, pick up the leg. Oh, yes.
Sit, though. He's got to sit with his hips down.
He's got to get. Now he's got his knees.
He's getting rolled because he's got to sit. Oh, Coach Fritz getting near the mat. He's getting excited over there. I like it. See that time, Ethan put his chest on chest and was able to seal the victory with correct technique.
So Ethan Kessler picks up the victory, or picks up the pin for East Clinton, which moves that score out to 28-18. And the Astros are moving closer, Mark.
Yeah, pins will do that. So,
but now we've got some forfeits coming up.
Yeah, it looks like
160. Braden Smith
will got the varsity.
Pick up the forfeit for Wilmington.
And 172 as a forfeit as well.
And that is
Devin Cordell. And we should have a 205 match between Jason Edison and Jaden Doyle. That was in stereo. Nice job, Coach.
Good timing on that one. Love when a plan comes together.
Love when a plan comes together.
So, Jason Edison, Jaden Doyle.
Jason's another
project
football. Well, he's a football wrestling kid, so.
Let's check him out here.
7-3 on the year, third at Batavia.
6th at North College Hill. Won 2 matches at the OAC Junior High Districts, which is an accomplishment. And right off the bat, Jaden Doyle
Jason gets the takedown, but Edison is back up and neutral, so it should be 2-1 in favor of Wilmington. It's a nice shot, but no finish. Jason's got to get his hips back, but he was reaching up for the half, and
another 2 points.
He's got the power half.
Yeah, he's got to keep those hips down. Got to fight that through.
He's also got to stop grabbing.
Get that arm underneath.
There you go, chest on chest, tight half.
Yeah, it looks like Jaden Doyle of Wilmington.
Yeah, that's nice technique. It was a nice, solid half, real tight.
And so
That was an impressive victory by Mr.
Jaden Doyle.
Jaden Doyle.
46-18 in favor of the Wilmington Hurricane. And now we're going to have...
Is it Hurricane or Hurricanes?
I think it's Hurricane.
It's Hurricane?
But
Was one Hurricane?
ask Mr. Hubert there. Hey, Mark.
Is it Hurricanes or Hurricane?
No, okay. Hurricane.
Just
So it
one
is the
singular
Hurricane.
hurricane.
So it is
You know all those hurricanes we get in Clinton County.
Yeah. And we've got Mark Huber sitting in here from the News Journal as he reports for the newspaper.
Now we got Seth Tagg again coming up for 245.
Seth Tagg and Derek Perdue of Wilmington. And this will wrap up the matches for this. Just again, a rule of thumb is not good to back up off the start there, but
He's got the front. He's trying for the front headlock.
yes,
Derek Perdue is.
Derek Perdue. Oh, and Perdue. Catches him. Got a crossface in, chest to chest.
Yeah, that's just straight muscle and forcible takedown.
So 16 seconds to go. Derek Perdue with the pin for Wilmington.
Oh.
And that will move it out to 52-18. And I believe that's going to be it. Unless looks like we got a couple forfeits here. Jaden Snyder of Wilmington will receive a forfeit at 80 pounds. It's a stout 80-pounder there, Mark.
Yep. I liked when I always amused myself when the other team had forfeits. I always just shake the kid's head and congratulate him for making weight that day.
Devin Snyder at 86 pounds for Wilmington picks up a forfeit. And that brings your final to 64-18. Somebody's not using their abacus correctly because we had 3 pins.
Maybe it's that rare 5-point pin.
It could have been. Or it's Common Core math.
Oh, good heaven.
One or the other. We're not sure what.
No, it's definitely Common Core math.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we'll shift action over to the
Falcons and the
Wildcats.
Again,
That's
stereo. Nice. Don't know what weight we're at.
Yeah, that's going to be our biggest problem here. If we can establish a weight, which we will work on here, we'll see if we can get a. Hey, I think Riddle would be able to get that information for us. Have Coach Scovaner will
Josie.
get the
Josie.
Josie.
Josie. What weight is this? Do you know what weight this is?
Finding out what weight. 38? 28? Okay, so at 128, we've got Brian Bandow of Blanchester and Nathan Smith of Clinton-Massie. Second period, 5-4. And it is about 26 seconds to go in the second period.
Looks like a barn burner here, just like in the high school match, or the high school match from Bland and Wilmington. Looks like the away team is Massey, and the home team is Bland. So it looks like Massey's up 18-15 in team points.
18-15 Massey going into this. And we'll have Rick. Rick, we're gonna. You want to move the camera over to that one? We're calling that one. We're gonna do ID. Oh, okay. So we have some technical issues here. We'll take care of.
Looks like I'd rather not announce the warm up over here.
Yes, exactly. You probably won't find that very interesting as we describe that. Is that Willie Nelson right there?
Beardless Willie Nelson.
I just wondered. Had a vague resemblance there. So you have Willie Nelson in the house. Is it the guy with the headband down there? We call him up here and ask him. see if he's got any. Is he working on any new albums? Oh, yeah. Yes, indeedy. How true, how true. Brian Bandow and Nathan Smith, 5-5.
To start the third, that's a barn burner.
It's a barn
Turns to
burner.
wrestling.
Just
We'll
like
see.
the match, 18-15 in favor of Clinton-Massie.
But it looks like we're not sure because we currently got Massey coaches and Bland coaches checking their books with each other. So it's always interesting when you have one coach with one score, the opposite coach with an opposite score, and then the
table has a third
different score, right? It's kind of like yesterday at the C&E duels where we were in the middle of at the end of a period, and it was our choice, and I said bottom. Coach Stalin said no. Coach Stalin said defer, and somebody else said neutral. And so the wrestler had no idea what was going on.
Oh, man. I remember those days.
We just needed a fourth coach to say top, and we covered all our bases. I'm not sure I've seen that in a long while.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start with
Brian Bandow on the bottom.
on bottom of referees, and Nathan Smith covers, and
Bandow stands up.
he's got to watch.
Okay.
Now he's got
over there.
Massey
Okay.
is
Okay. Bandow moving in with his hips.
Massey had a deep half.
Yeah,
but
Bandow did a nice job picking up the leg. He's facing him chest to chest. If he can suck that arm under,
he might roll through, but no. That's
Bandow's
tight.
chest to chest.
That was quick.
Oh, yes,
That was a quick pin.
Brian Bandow with a
So
pin.
with the reversal and the pin, final score.
Final score. Well, that's going to push it out to 21-18 now in favor of Blanchester. Okay, so now at 134, we've got
Troy Hedstrom
and Nate Wildermuth of Massey. A shout out to Matt Baker, superintendent there at Clinton-Massie. Hope he has a nice Christmas break, get a little rest after Massey's deep run into the football playoffs. So Matt,
like we got.
no.
Yeah, that's potentially dangerous right there. Yeah, that's bad news.
And that could
So
be
it
a
was
disqualification.
kind of a massive scramble, and then the Blanchester wrestler Troy Hedstrom kind of just lifted him up, and he ended up slamming him right down on his back and his shoulders and head.
So let me ask you this, Mark. If a kid can't continue because of an illegal move, that becomes
The victor is the injured wrestler.
right. So that's a default victory.
Yes, but if you get injured in not an illegal move, then if you can't continue, then you lose. Right.
Right. And I'm not sure at this point that we're going to see if he could have a concussion from that kind of move.
Yeah, that was evenly. He got lucky that it was his back of his head and his shoulders, not just his back of his head.
Right.
That was a pretty ugly slam.
So
And it's it didn't look malicious or anything. It just kind of looked like he was just trying to take him down.
the spur of the moment type of
he
thing.
was just trying to take him down, and
He
he probably got excited because he kind of just like ended up.
he's a wow.
Yeah, he kind of ended up with his entire body up in his arms.
Yeah.
So
He's thinking this doesn't
that
happen very often.
takedown was a lot easier than I thought it was. So.
Yeah.
But he just, it comes from experience. You just gotta know that you can't just throw, and slam down on the ground.
If he would have just went down to one knee as he took him down, then he would have been perfectly fine on that. But so we've got the medical team out evaluating the situation to see whether or not Nate Wildermuth of Clinton-Massie can continue, and this will really impact potentially the match because of the closeness of it at this point.
It looks like he's getting up, sitting up straight. Not sure he can continue, though, but
Hey.
him sitting up straight is a great sign.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that there's any broken bones or anything at this point.
Not sure.
But I'm betting that Wildermuth is going to hit the showers here.
He's a little dazed and confused, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if
I
he
think,
has to be evaluated for concussion.
I think so. I would agree with that.
Ooh, and they lose a team point, too, because of its illegal slam.
Oh, so that would take it to 21-17. Wow. And are they going to... Oh, man. So, Massie is now at 24. Now, if
They haven't changed. I don't know. I just saw the ref mouthing that one team point thing. I could be wrong, mistaken on that one.
Well, we'll see. It's either going to be 24-21 or 24-20. So we will see where they go with this. Next matchup, we've got
Should be
Tyler.
a forfeit for Blanchester at one.
Well, it looks like they might be. Maybe they're moving some people around here because if this is Tyler, now it looks like Tyler Bustle will get the forfeit here. Okay, so
142.
So that makes it 27-24. And that brings us to
150.
Cody Kidd of Bland and Charlie Hale.
Of Massie.
Chuck Hale.
Hey, we know.
It's
Shout
Chuck-
out to Charles Hale.
Shout out to Charlie.
Charles.
Charlie. Charles
We
and
start calling him Charlie. You know, Matty B. If we start calling him Charlie, that'd be beautiful. Old Charles Hale Jr. III. All right, so we've got a
so
couple of 150-pounders here.
and
It's like fighting for inside control.
yeah, they are. And the
Both have got the team color tights look going.
yeah, and Hale's definitely got some leverage advantages here. He's got inside position too. And at this point, nobody's really taking advantage of much. They're just kind of feeling themselves out.
Kinda just keeping head pressure and keeping inside control. Looks like they both have pretty decent position. Looks like he's going to use his height to his advantage, the Massie wrestler, and try to bang on the head a little bit more.
And of course, you know the short guys actually, with a big tall wrestler, you can, if you're smart, you really have an advantage because
As soon as the Bland wrestler went to his knees, that was the end of his defense. So
Charlie
but
Hale,
he's popped up to one knee, so
and he's trying to
staying in the base, so kind of has an idea of what he's doing on the bottom there.
wants to base up and get out of there. Oh, a little tilt by Charlie Hale.
Didn't have him over, though, so no points awarded
He hasn't
yet.
been able to get. Wow, nice move by Charlie Hale. Stood him right up on his head there, and he looked like he might go for a tilt. And it's good. Of course, you know when you're in
Hale really needs to keep pressure on his hands and shoulders by staying off his knees, but that just comes with more experience. And he jumps to the side and run a half here. These big steps, he's got 2 seconds. He will not be able to get back points.
So 2-0 in favor of Charlie Hale over Cody Kidd.
And that's an
Blanchester.
impressive period by both these wrestlers.
Yep.
Looks like he got some blood time, maybe. What?
So
I'm not
we will see.
quite sure. Could be blood time, maybe. Could be. It's not injury time.
An impressive start by Charlie Hale, though, if he can.
Yeah, but all that movement and all that effort, and it's still only a
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. But
so coming up next at 160, as we have Zane
so yeah, we
Panetta
have a little bit of blood time here for
and Lane Schultz.
Cody Kidd. So,
and then we'll have Bland receiving a forfeit at 172. And then we'll have Massie receiving forfeits at 205 and 245. And then we're not sure how far back we're going to go back up here because we're not sure where it started at.
Right.
So we will see how what we have left after the heavyweight match. as it stands right now, what we have left after the heavyweight match. Okay, we're back on.
I was going to say, I thought I was having deja vu.
All over again.
Yeah.
Thought I was throwing my voice, right?
Rick just made a glitch in the Matrix.
Thought I was like throwing my voice. And
Yeah. It's like, you need to go into ventriloquism with
yeah,
that.
man. There you go. So,
right, so
Charlie Hale, second period, up 2-0 over Cody Kidd of Blanchester. Kidd's up to his feet.
That's a nice job of fighting by Cody Kidd.
Tried to get some wrist control there. Run off the mat by Charlie Hale of Clinton-Massie.
Tell you what, this Cody Kidd's not giving him an inch.
No, and Kidd, nice. Tried to sit out.
But he's still moving.
Yep.
So he tried to sit out, and then he tried to stand up. So
yeah, he's trying, finding all the different tools in the toolbox.
that's what you got to do on bottom is if your one doesn't work, go to 2, go to 3, keep back to 1. You just got to keep going and going and going.
So
can't give up wrist, though.
A little less than a minute to go here in the second period. Oh, and he's trying to tilt again.
Yeah, but he's got good position. I'm not sure he'll get it.
He does. Hale is fighting off.
If he can scoop that arm, though.
Oh, but now he's got it.
The arm for the half. Oh,
well,
they're gonna
give him 2.
That was 2
That's quick.
seconds.
It was quick 2. So it makes it 4-0 in favor of Charlie Hale of Clinton-Massie over Cody Kidd of Blanchester. He did give him 2, right?
Yeah, but they didn't see it because
okay.
There's a bunch of wrestlers in the middle in the way.
Oh, I got you.
So yeah, there he goes. Now it's 4-2. Okay, or 4-0. Excuse me.
So Charlie Hale in control here with just a few seconds to go in the second period. And
Cody Kidd's making him work, though. I'm telling you.
Yep.
I've been impressed by both wrestlers.
Cody Kidd has been up to the task, no doubt about it. And, of course, we will have the third period coming up with Charlie Hale up 4-0 over Cody Kidd. In the championship match for the junior high tournament today, which pits Blanchester's Wildcats against the Clinton-Massie Falcons.
Clinton County Falcons, Bill?
Clinton-Massie Falcons. Okay, there we go.
Start the third period. 4-0.
Charlie Hale gets it. Oh, tries a double.
It's a nice job of stuffing the head, but
picks him up. He's going to set him down to his back. Oh, nice move by Charlie Hale.
It's a nice reach. I was wondering when he was going to take advantage of his reach and his length.
Yeah.
And
he's trying to reverse half the head. If he can pick up that elbow.
He's got a great bridge, but you can't bridge right into the half.
And that could be it right there.
Yep. Good call, Bill.
So Charlie Hale with the pin at 4:30 or 4 minutes to go in the match, and that will move the score out to 30-27. And we're going to have Zane Panetta for Blanchester, and Lane Schultz at 160 will be coming up. And depending on what we have left here, the team that comes out ahead at the bottom of this mark is going to be in the driver's seat.
Oh, yeah.
If there's only 1 or 2 matches.
Massie currently up by 3 points, which is a minor victory. So
yep.
1 minor victory away. So now we got a couple kids.
So Zane Panetta, double. Panetta takes him down.
No, he awards the points.
And he's going to give him the 2 points. So Zane Panetta with a really tight takedown on the sidelines there, which
so the Massie was trying to get in position and trying to do a little head tap, and he got a little too close to the face. So
no
Panetta, points, but he just warned him.
Panetta is trying to get beating the head up a little bit, trying to get that half in there.
He's on his hip. It's a good position for a half.
And he tries.
There you go. Big man roll. Oh, he's got the big man roll. He's just over.
Panetta fights it off well.
Now he's almost got a.
Wow, what
Okay,
a
so
little
we
scrambling going on there, Mark.
A scramble ends up with Massie on top.
Massie gets the reverse, and Lane Schultz is even the match up. Oh, cradle. Zane Panetta is in a bad way.
Should send his lock it up tight and put his mat knee or his bottom knee in
Now
his
you
hip.
can see Panetta's got his arm extended, which is making it impossible here for him to turn.
So what he's got to do is go to a different move.
He sat out all the way through on that one.
He tried to do the switch, but he wasn't there. He might get his hips over and roll him. He might. Oh, he's still in control, but now he reversed
2
it.
points
All
for
right.
Zane Panetta. We got a nice little match going here, Mark.
5 seconds left, and let's see any more scrambles. It's like Lane might be out of gas.
It might be. He's going to have to stop at Kroger's and fill up there. Or Walmart.
Whatever's closest at this point.
Hey, yeah. So Zane Panetta up 4-2 for Blanchester over Lane Schultz of Clinton-Massie. Starting the second period.
Yeah, it looks like Lane is a little gassed from Massie, so
And at this point,
look to see a lot of desperate stuff from Massie and see.
He's locking that elbow down again.
See Lane. What Zane did was just put his hips. He clamped his hips down to the mat, and that's the easiest defense against that the big man roll there. So he's got his arm locked in. He's got a power half. He's got a force.
And Panetta just banging on the top there, and that's what you got to do. Make that head sore, and it comes down, and the half goes in a lot easier.
He's got to get him flat, though.
Yeah.
Can't run.
Oh, he reaches back.
Not sure how that was potentially dangerous. But
I'm not sure either, but penalty point awarded to Zane Panetta, moving his lead out to 5-2 over Lane Schultz of Clinton-Massie.
That should have been a caution. You can't lean on your opponent before you get in the referee's position, but sometimes you don't see it. That's a nice job of covering the hips by Zane there. There's the big man roll again.
But he follows.
Wow.
And he comes out now.
Well, no control. Zane still technically has control here.
Yeah. Zane can pick that up, which I think he's going to try. Oh, he takes him right to his back.
Yep, that is a great takedown.
2 points for Zane Panetta. 7-3.
Did they award the escape then?
He
was in control, and then he just picks him back up. I thought
there was no change.
I thought that shouldn't have been two. That should have been just stay with control. But
no change of control.
Once he awarded the escape, I didn't see that though.
Well, if they did, we should have 7-3 though.
Right, it should be 7-3 because you can't award a. Yeah, somebody get the book.
You can't get a takedown. Yeah.
The Massie coaches are on it.
Yeah, so it should be 7-3 here.
Or control.
But there was no 2-pointer.
Yeah, it should be 5-2.
Right. So they're going to have to decipher that whole thing. Was there an escape and a takedown, or was it just a continuation?
Based on what I saw from the referee, he was in control when they were in neutral there.
Okay, they're saying 5-2.
Okay, yeah. So there was no change, even though the referee,
because there was no escape, so there couldn't have been a takedown awarded.
Exactly. He was still in control, and it was still technically the previous takedown.
Right. Okay, we got that sorted out here. So third period starts. Zane Panetta of Blanchester
on bottom, and that was a nice ankle rip by Schultz there. Oh,
he tries a little bit of.
He might get caught. He might get caught
he reached
though.
Back. Yeah. Internet, Campus Nation. Yeah.
Yeah, so Zane right here is in a world of hurt because he tried that. He got caught in a pretty slow switch and got put to his back, and so
5-4. Oh, he could get sucked back here.
Yeah, he's on his knees. So
got to power that arm. You got to thread that arm through there, Mark.
So he needs to chin the arm over, or he needs to cover the hips. Oh, he needs to cover the hips.
Got to stand up is what he's got to do.
He might pop.
If he could suck that ankle under, Mark, he could get a half and take him right to his back here.
Might be able to pop his head out.
Yep. He's in a scoring position. And Schultz could end up in a... Oh. We talked about a defensive...
That's a reversal. That's a reversal.
There's a reversal.
Yep. And now back points as well.
And now he just sits there. He's got 20 seconds to go, and
7-4. He's technically in a penny combination, so he doesn't have to move.
Right. And he's going to probably.
He doesn't have an arm though, so I'm wondering how.
If they're going to give him the points on it.
He needs the arm.
Oh, I see. Well, he's not locked on it though. It's just
now he's locked.
Now it is.
Ooh, yeah. See, he grabbed. As soon as he locked, he went right for the hands.
That was questionable.
So 3 backs. Your final score is 10-4 in favor of Zane
Panetta. So 3-point victory brings it to 30-30, Mark.
Now we've got a few forfeits at the upper weights. Oh, no, we don't. Well, let's see.
We got Joey Haynes at 172 for Bland.
Okay, so that's what it is. We got 3 forfeits here. We got a 72 forfeit at Joey Haynes will get his hand raised. Then we'll have the 205 Ronnie Kinser get his hand raised for Massey, and 245 Bryant Pinkerton get his hand raised for Massey. So they just traded 12 for 6, which 42 to 36.
So we don't know what's left up here.
We're not sure where it started.
So it looks like Bland's Brett Bandow will be up at 80. And
now we've got a Massey 80, so we got Cole Mormon.
So we got a bunch of Mormon there. Are they from Utah, maybe?
I don't know. I think that's spelled wrong. But Bandow had a brother maybe
Brian.
Possibly, or cousin or brother, relation at 128. So Brett, wrestling family, kind of like the Kleins at East Clinton.
Yep. So Brett Bandow,
aggressiveness from
Cole Mormon
coming inside, banging the head.
All right.
It's tough to wrestle with your head down.
Yeah, Mormon is just trying to get in there and a little bit of feeling out here.
There you go, pushing and
trying
pulling
to
there. Ooh, somebody's bleeding. That's an aggressive neutral.
I think he caught the chin on the forehead, and that's never a good thing.
He had great position on a takedown too, but
yes, he did.
Got to stop for blood time.
Yep.
Can't go bleeding everywhere.
No, they don't recommend that.
This? No, this is JV. This is.
Yes. No, they'll be East Clinton and Wilmington for 3rd place, and then Massey and Blanchester.
Junior high,
yeah. Well, East Clinton's only got 6 wrestlers though, so theirs will end quick enough that we'll see the end of that other match. So here we go. Hopefully return to action here. Looks like the blood may have been stopped.
I think they get 4 minutes in junior high, 5 minutes maybe in junior high for blood time.
So, Mark, where do they move? Where do the Astros go next in wrestling? What's their schedule here coming up in the near future?
So I think
top of the hour ID.
Okay. You can do it now? Okay. Oh, and you are listening to WZAA 106.9 and LP FM in Jeffersonville. And, of course, this is on the internet on Campus Nation. And joined here today by Mark Scovaner, one of my compadres in crime there, usually with the Sports Planet when we can get him on. And hopefully we're going to expand Mark's role here this spring as we
really needed the Sports Planet to be on, because if you notice, the sports media in general has been just thrashing Tomlin and Roethlisberger for their giant mistakes at the end of the Patriots game, and I'm just soaking every second of it in.
So, Greg, if you're listening.
Every second of their mistakes is magnified, and it's beautiful.
So, Greg Henning, if you're out there, you can call in and give Scovaner, give him heck about that.
And he'll bring up rings and all that other stuff. And
the audio is real time. The video will be like 2 days later. Yeah, it's on campusnation.com. Yeah. So
you need like cards or something.
Yeah, that's what we should have at the games.
Or like I need like a Campus Nation like T-shirt or something.
Well, we got a banner.
Where's the banner at?
Well, we didn't bring the banner.
All right, back to action.
So,
Stop
okay.
the blood time.
Oh, so we've got
We got
Brett
aggressiveness.
Bandow of Blanchester and Cole Mormon of Clinton-Massie.
Oh, got a head and arm. We got a head and arm situation.
Oh, and Mormon
Right,
of
Mormon.
Massey.
He's trying to
He's
rip
got-
it. He's trying to rip
he's
it.
got him.
Oh, and he's sunk his hips.
He's got Bandow on his back, and it looks like it's tight. And a lot of time to go.
Oh, and there's the
a
pin.
So Cole Mormon moves
With the-
Massey's lead out to 48-36.
See, that wasn't a traditional junior high head and arm. That was kind of sat and cranked on, which is how you're supposed to do it.
Right. And now we've got Hunter Smith of Blanchester against Grant Mormon, the Mormon boys.
I would imagine there's a relation there.
I would imagine, at the very minimum, cousins. So,
Got to fix the time, 1:30. Got to fix the score, 0-0.
and now we can play.
We don't play, Bill. We wrestle.
Well, that's true.
Ooh, got a lot of head fakes.
Well,
got a lot
yeah.
of head fakes. Ooh, there's the front headlock.
And
And covered. Ooh, that's just being quick.
Grant Mormon of Massey with the quick takedown.
Hunter Smith wasn't really sure what happened there, but
No,
all of
I
a sudden he ended up down two.
And Mormon looks
He's got the cross wrist there and his hip over.
looks very experienced for a junior high wrestler there, Mark.
Yeah, especially kids that go to like the OAC tournaments and all that. You can get so many matches as a junior high kid beyond what the regular junior high season is.
And again, you don't know when he started. I mean, he could have started years ago.
Right.
And he's, even an eighth grader could technically have 6-7 years of experience under their belt. Grant Mormon, 2-0 lead in the first period here.
Covering the hips pretty well.
Oh, and he stacks them.
Got to keep your head up. That's the easiest defense to being stacked is keeping your head up.
Yep.
It's like he's popping him right over top. Oh, he's got the leg locked, and he just needs that three-quarter
Oh,
stack.
and he's got his.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
let's see.
he's going to get two out of
He's
it.
going to reposition himself. No, the referee doesn't have any hands for two, so
Now I thought I saw him put him down, but I guess he was just anticipating.
he's got that leg lock still, so he's still
Yeah.
trying for that.
Oh,
Now he looks like he's a half. He's just kind of forcing him
He
over.
can reach under there and.
Hunter Smith's doing a nice job
Yeah.
defending all
Yeah,
that
he
stuff.
is.
He hasn't turned yet.
After a slow start, he's made a.
Oh, now he's on
Butchered
his back.
him. Oh, he
Two-
cranked it down.
A couple seconds left, too little too late, so he's probably going to get his three,
Yeah,
which makes the score 5-0
5-0.
in favor of Mr.
Grant Mormon of Clinton-Massie. And then,
Broadcasting in stereo tonight.
no, we did not rehearse this. So,
Ooh, that's could have been
Hunter
locking
Smith
hands.
on top and Grant Mormon.
The referee didn't see it, but he could. Now he got the reversal for Grant here for two. Brings the lead up to 7-0.
And he is just cranking on
Looks
the
like
arms.
he's got an
here.
idea of what he's wanting to do here. Just
Yeah.
kind of force him over
And
and
just takes him through. And
sink and a half. He needs to get his hips down.
And if he
There,
get-
now his
and
hips
I
are
think
sunk, and
that
that's
this-
yep. I was about to say, as soon as I saw Grant's hips sink into the mat, the match was pretty much over.
Grant Mormon picks up the pin for Clinton-Massie, raising the score to 54-36. And it looks like Massey, at this
He's
point,
running
I would
away
say,
with
is
it at this
going
point,
to be the champions for the Clinton County dual tournament for the junior high.
So we've got a few more matches.
Okay, now are these,
And then we still got,
so would this be
this is 92, it looks like.
92 Braden Rolfe and Brian Brewer of Blanchester and Rolfe of Clinton-Massie. So we still have a couple. What's that?
I think they might have started at 16, but I'm not sure.
Well, here was the score we started.
Right, so I think that might have been the second match. So I think they might have started here.
Well, not if they had 18 already, though.
Oh, they already had 18. That's true.
So that's why I don't know how far back that goes.
That's true.
It looks like Bland is putting their warm-ups on, so I'm assuming this could be the last match. Massey's putting their warm-ups on over there. Okay. And it looks like Braden Rolfe is going to get a takedown here. Not yet.
No control, yeah.
Just get that high leg over on that, and he would be. He's got to kick that thing, and he does, and he picks up the 2 points. It's just on his knees too much there, Mark.
Yeah, it looks like he's not making any attempts to.
Oh, he's trying to stack him, though.
He does a nice job of kicking out of it.
Out the back door there almost for Brian Brewer of Bland. He had a chance to get away on that one.
Yeah, right here in this position, though, he doesn't look like he's advancing his position much, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to get a stalling call here.
Yeah, if your face is down in the mat, it's not.
Elbows in, stalling. Now, they called that. They started calling that at the high school level super early.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, his hips are, that's a pretty quick pin.
So, Braden Rolfe of Clinton-Massie picks up the pin, and I believe that's going to push the final score out to 60-36, and the Clinton-Massie Falcons are the champions of the Clinton County Duels in junior high.
That's an impressive little semifinal and final out of the Massey Falcons.
Yeah, they were.
They got numbers, and they're the kids that are wrestling are pretty aggressive kids. Yeah,
they got some experienced kids. So
that might have been an extra. They haven't changed the. I'm not sure if that was an extra match or it was. I'm not sure.
Well, we'll just throw it on there since they.
Sure, why not?
We're wrestling for
regardless.
Their
It was 54-36 or 63-36.
Yeah, so it wasn't going to change. No dramatic change there. And of course, now we have the championship match for the varsity. We'll pit the Clinton-Massie Falcons against those same Blanchester Wildcats.
Yeah, you'll have the Blanchester Massey championship match on the star mat, and the third place match will be up here at the older red mat with East Clinton Astros and the Wilmington Hurricane, which I learned today is the Hurricane.
Because there's only one of them that comes through. It's not Hurricane.
Sure.
You know, because if they had multiple Hurricanes come through, then they would have to throw the S.
However, you've lived a few more years longer than me. I don't remember a hurricane ever reaching Ohio.
I don't think so.
But hey,
but
also we're Astros, so how many?
Yeah, how many meteors are hit? I'm sorry, not meteors, celestial bodies.
Ooh,
how many of them dropped here in the southwest Ohio area? At least in the last century.
That's how Clinton County was formed.
Yes. You know that big sinkhole? That's where it hit.
UFOs and celestial bodies. Ooh, I like that.
Celestial bodies, yes. So, anyhow, Mark.
So we're just kind of giving the other teams opportunity, the high school teams opportunity to maybe get situated, get loose, and.
So we got some bowl games coming up here. Anything intriguing to you? Games that you're interested in? No.
Did you see the ridiculous contract they gave Lane Kiffin down at FAU?
Yeah.
And that's honestly, that's cute. They think he's going to be around for 10 years.
And that was kind of the joke that was going on, is that will Lane Kiffin, stay for the entire contract? Which,
heck no, he's gone. And as soon as something like a Tennessee level thing opens up again, he's gone. As long as a Power 5, he probably won't go Big 10, but Big 12, Pac-12, SEC.
I think Big 12 would probably be where he would end up. I think the SEC probably won't get. I mean, although he was with Alabama, I think what he did with Tennessee, people will kind of be.
Spurned him probably. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and he's been out in the Pac-12 with USC, so I think maybe where you're going to see Lane Kiffin surface.
I don't think he'd work in the Big 10. So yeah, probably like a Kansas State maybe, because Bill Snyder is about 7,000 years old at this point.
Well, he has cancer too.
Does he now?
Yeah, and
I thought he was just. Is he sticking around? I haven't heard anything about him retiring.
Well, this is the rumor that's being circulated is that he will hang on till this summer and then resign, and his son, I believe it's Corey, will take over as the head coach. Now, the question that's being circulated is he going to be an interim, or will be the permanent? And I guess that would all be dependent on that one season that he comes in and coaches there.
Hey, you got one season. Impress us. Yeah,
Although you're thinking he's Bill Snyder's son, who virtually Kansas State has had no program any time that Bill Snyder hasn't been there.
Right.
So you would think that his son would have a good shot of at least getting a look at it. So
San Diego State Army looks fun. Might check out the West Pointers.
Yeah, San Diego State. Aztecs have the nation's leading rusher, and I think it's Ronald Penny.
Boy, UCLA took a dive this year, 6-6. Yikes.
Yeah, you know, they were talking about the signing day yesterday, and Chip Kelly did not come away. They weren't impressed with what UCLA was able to come up with.
They just hired him a month ago.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get going here.
Varsity Wrestling Championship of Clinton County.
So
I don't know what weight they started at, but
well, we'll know here in a second because we're going to have the East Clinton match start. And since we know the East Clinton wrestlers, we should
looks like they started at 26.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking too.
So this should be Andrew Frump from Blanchester taking on Blake Seaman at Massey. So Dominic Davidson just accepted the forfeit at 126 for Wilmington in the third place match.
And so that'll bring us to the 132 with Austin Brock of East Clinton and Dylan Dummett. So, yes, indeed, that's where we are going to start it out with actual wrestling, not forfeit wrestling. So, here we go. And Austin Brock, who remains undefeated on the season after a close victory in his...
It's a slow start. Seems to have a lot of slow starts this season, so hopefully he can change that up and start pressuring in the first couple periods.
Austin Brock.
It's a nice slide by. He needs to pop his head. There you go. It's a nice duck under. Okay, he took a shot and then just kind of slid up the body.
Oh, and
nice little
looking for a little tilt there, trying to get the shoulders at...
Trying to get that arm chop going to that cross wrist.
Now when you hear us
talk, the arm bar, he's going to get the arm bar here and then try to roll the wrist, but he's doing a nice job of defending it.
And when Mark and I talk about the tilt, it's the angle of the shoulder blades. If it's less than 90 degrees away from the mat, then they can award points for that. Oh, he's got the arm bar. If he gets it in tight, and he's got to stretch him out a little bit.
He needs that wrist. That's one thing. As dumb, it looks like he's a little more lanky than Mr. Brock here. So
yeah,
Brock's having trouble snagging that wrist for that pin.
Well, and he's way too high right now. And he's losing his position.
He's got that boot in. He needs to keep his hips going.
Or the quarter Nelson in, and it's cranking on the neck. You know, Mark, if you ever wrestled, when somebody cranks on your neck long enough, your head gets tired.
Absolutely. And that's not just in wrestling, that's in life.
That's true. That's true.
However, you're allowed to prevent people cranking on your head.
That's right. Oh,
there you
go. Cradle.
So he kind of saw the knee next to the head, and that's what you got to do. But he just flipped himself
and he
over
almost
and
put
lost
himself
position.
in a really bad spot there. But it looks like Dummett is in a position to score.
He needs to lift the legs up. Ooh, that is...
Brock probably wants to get out of there, I would say.
He just kind of sucked in his leg there. And
he's put himself...
No, he's got the reversal, but no awards. No back points there.
So, reversal for...
So it should be 2-2.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, they just adjusted the... Should be 2-2. Takedown for Brock and the reversal for Dummett.
And Dummett... Now, I didn't see that, Mark. Who had choice? Did Dummett choose down?
I was not going to lie. I was glancing over the championship match.
Okay. So, Dummett is on bottom. Austin Brock of East Clinton on top as they start this out. So they are at 138 over there in the championship match. And Austin Brock.
Brock has to switch up his breakdowns. He can't just rely on one. He's cranking on that cross wrist, but Dummett's up to his feet.
Oh, and he picks him up, takes him down. We've seen a lot of guys drop today, Mark. I mean,
and he's getting too high. Mr. Brock is getting too high.
Oh, but he's kind of in a position where he's
trying to hip him over, just using his hips to force him over.
Oh, he's got him.
Brock needs to get his head up.
He should be getting some points off of this one. I think, of course, he could give up 2 points if he doesn't.
If he hips down, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
He needs to keep his hips down and slowly slide his shoulders back, and he'll end up with the pinning count. He needs to put his chin
right
in his shoulder, which is
very painful.
rather painful.
Yeah. Oh, he's got the arms tied up.
He needs to sit back. He's
Screw
got
him in the
he's
mat.
got a whole minute left, so he
Oh,
just
yeah.
needs to. Well, he needs to stop getting so high. Yep, that's what you get for being so high.
He's got to step back through and take him over again.
But he's laying on his own legs, so his own legs caught under there. So, there we go. He popped it out. So
he's holding 3 up. So Austin Brock picks up a 3-point near fall. And looking to add to that with 42 seconds to go in the second period.
still a nice job defending, holding on to the leg.
Yeah, and Brock gets in the top mount position again.
Brock is staying way too high. And he slide his head down.
He takes him over. He's got the wrist
kind of the
tied.
same move he did before.
Nice, a little Gable action there. And it's a tough thing to get out of, Mark. If you get both arms
He's kind
tied
of bundled him up there. Ooh, the pin with 13 seconds left.
So Austin Brock evens the score for East Clinton here as it goes to 6-6. And that'll bring up Matt Horn for East Clinton and Logan Cook for Wilmington at 138 pounds.
I got to wait till the tell you what, these are extremely fancy scoreboards we got at East Clinton, but that is
nice,
a complicated machine.
That was a John Smith single there.
Horn needs to keep his head down. Ooh, he's got his arm trapped.
Cook
That's going to be tough for Horn to escape that.
Cook is gonna.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Good reverse. Good job.
Now he's got to get his base and get out of there.
He's got to keep moving. Second. There you go. Nice job, Mr. Horn. He escaped out of there.
Matt Horn gets out.
4-1. That's the one thing he did right was he didn't stop moving.
Impressive low single by Logan Cook. He's got to pop his head out to the side. Keep on driving it in. Yeah, drive him off the mat. If nothing else. Well, looks like it'll be a penalty point awarded here.
I'm not sure if it's a warning or just a penalty. Potentially, yep, just a. Uh-oh. Now the coach has got some issues with whatever just happened there. Wilmington coach does.
That was an old WWE move, apparently. So,
just had a question on the arm positioning there. Ooh, so it was potentially dangerous for one, so it should be 4-2, escaping a technical violation point for Mr. Horn.
So, Matt Horn can even this up if he gets a good takedown.
Trying to crank on that elbow. Ooh, he's flat-footed.
Nice knee pick.
He needs to. Ooh, out of bounds. Woo! See, that's when you're catching kids flat-footed. That's when you get those ankle picks and knee picks going.
Oh, low double, spins him around.
He needs to bail and cover his two.
Got to get to his belly. There you go. Oh, he got
nice job.
No points. Oh,
he needs to.
And he takes. And Matt just wasn't ready when he got out of that.
Yeah, he was probably pretty excited on the fact that he didn't get the takedown the first time.
Yeah,
But what Matt did is he bounced on his palms and slid his knees forward, and that's which separated the hips. And that's what you got to do when you're on bottom. Now he kind of.
Cook's got the half in, and definitely he's got some points.
Yeah, he's going to try to get that head and arm and just kind of slide him over, or he's just jump sides and run a half.
Yeah.
Horn's got to keep his elbows in and palms. There you go. Nice job, Mr. Horn.
He based up, so he gives him
three backs for Mr. Cook here.
Yep, Logan Cook with a three-pointer, 9-2 as the time runs out here in the first period. And that's going to take us into the second period here.
Great job by both wrestlers, really working their stuff.
Okay, over in the championship.
Wilmington defers to Horn. And Mr. Horn takes bottom.
Good move
Got to get that first escape point so we can get the takedown. And Cook wasn't able to hold him down the whole last period, so it's a good call.
Yep. So,
he can't keep his head on the mat. That's an easy way to get pinned.
He's got the half in.
That's pretty tight, too.
Yeah, and it could be bad for Matt here.
Got his hips down. Doesn't have his eyes up, though.
Now, and he's Matt can keep on rolling through this. He's going to thread that arm through.
What he needs to do is he needs to thread his left arm through and kind of There you go.
There you
nice
go.
Job. It's a great
Nice
job by
power
Matt.
through on that. Matt Horn showing a lot of courage there because he was in a bad way there, Mark.
Yeah, and he could have easily just given up, but he fought off of it. That's a great job by Horn.
Now he just got to get to his base and get himself some points because you never know. He's got that. Cook has got the wrist as he rolls it under, goes to a half.
Wrist and a half.
And
but
he's
not,
just banging
can't
on.
really decide on which one he wants the half on.
No, he's kind of undecided right
Horn's
here.
doing a nice job of defending it, though, but now he sees the knee near the head, and he's going to try the cradle, but... So he reversed it out of the cradle. But he had Cook on his back for a minute, but...
So it's back.
He was able to scramble back on top.
So they give Matt Horn 2 points for the reversal, and this is probably going to be yeah, there it is.
So a nice little fight and nice little scramble for Horn, but
Logan Cook comes up with the pin, and that moves it out to 12-6 in favor of Wilmington. We'll see Trent Holliday will pick up a forfeit for the Hurricane.
It's 145 weight class, and we should have Josh Klein from East Clinton and Dalton Garrison from Wilmington.
And in fact, we do. So 18-6 team score. Wilmington over East Clinton.
I say should, like both those kids weren't standing right in front of me.
Mark was just double checking on that one. You'll get no errors here from Mr. Scovanner. And Josh Klein for East Clinton.
Ooh, nice shot by Garrison there, but
Dalton
Josh
Garrison
was able to fend it off. Josh's got a kind of unorthodox stance. He kind of has his legs one way and kind of leans towards the other with his head. So,
yep, he's got to get off his knees there.
It's a good job of being head to head. Good job circling. Got to use your hands. When you go that inside tie, you got to use it.
Oh, nice!
A nice
deep
shot.
Double.
Nice shot by Garrison and
takes Josh Klein down to the mat, but Josh
was able to get to his feet because
one.
Garrison didn't cover the hips. So he was able to get the takedown, but he didn't cover his hips all the way, so Josh was able to jump right back up. So that's a good job by both wrestlers.
So a nice job by Josh Klein after a good takedown. Good deep double by Dalton Garrison. Low single. Can he climb it?
He needs to finish it.
He's got to climb to the hips, goes to the double. He pops the head through and picks it up.
So we got some technical issues. Both of our scoreboards and both of our matches just went blank, and now all we've got is the time.
Whoa!
So all we know now is it's 8:32 p.m.
Well,
so much for that impressive low single by Josh Klein.
Yeah, and Josh was looking like he was going to convert to a double on that.
Yeah. So we like to yell "Go south," which means just go to the rear. The rear, so you're in front of him, and then you got to circle yourself to the back of your opponent, which means go south. So that's how you finish the low single, right? Josh has got to watch that because it looks like Dalton Garrison's a pretty aggressive kid and knows when to take advantage of his shots. All right, now we got scoreboards, we got match times,
we got electricity again, and we're ready to go.
All right.
Of course, you are watching the Clinton County Duels right here on CampusNation.com. And, of course, we broadcast live on WZAA 106.9 LPFM out of Jeffersonville. Our thanks to Jim Marsh and Doug Stalen for allowing us to come in and broadcast today. Ooh, nice low single. Now he's got to finish it
up. Oh, that's a great job defending it. Now he's going to reshoot.
Yeah, nice counter by
Klein's got to counter it, but he gives up the two. That's a great job by reshot by Garrison.
Yeah, 4-1.
Klein's got to move.
Dalton Garrison.
That's a great job by Josh to get in on the single, but he didn't finish.
Josh Klein continues to work. Hand fighting underneath, preventing Garrison from getting
no time left.
Better position. 4-1 the end of the first period. Dalton Garrison of Wilmington over Josh Klein of East Clinton. And Klein will take the bottom. And
Yeah, you can tie it up right here with an escape and a takedown, so that's
escape and
perfect
takedown.
position.
So this is big period for
Caution green.
big period for Josh Klein, because Josh is going to have to really, at least at the very minimum, he's got to even this up this period. Going into that third period.
He's got to get his hips away. He's got a knee slide up.
And Josh
Got to get to his base, knee slide up, keep his head up.
just got to keep on working up. Oh, tried.
That's it.
There you go.
Stand up. Josh needs to
Stand
stand
up.
up.
Just stand up with him.
Get his one. He saw that leg, and he's really cranking on that leg.
And
If he
he's
goes
in
south,
position if he can
climb
just
the
got to
ladder,
pick
but
it up. Just got to
That's what we tell him. We got to
elevate
it and pick it up.
Yep.
Or he can, if he rips that far ankle, he can just.
But it looks like he's going to get a
There we
reversal.
go. Now
And now if he stays with that arm, he's got the arm in good
now
position.
He's got the bar. He just needs the wrist. He just needs the wrist.
Yeah.
He's too high.
Yeah.
He needs to slide back, cover the hips. There you go. It's a nice job of repositioning, make sure he's not too high.
So 4-3 in favor of Dalton Garrison of Wilmington. Josh Klein making a little. Oh!
That is a great job of Josh Klein keeping control. He tried to do a little do-si-do and flip out, but Klein snagged his shoelaces and was able to keep.
Yeah, he did.
Was able to keep control.
He caught him, and
which is huge because that could start the last minute of the period in neutral with a point with it being 5-3, but now it's still
4-3.
Control for Josh.
Yep.
I've seen shoelace tackles. I don't know if I've seen shoelace takedowns before.
Yeah. Looked like he got him right by the heel there and took him down, but
All right, so he gives up the
gives
escape,
up the point, but that's all right. Now he's in a takedown away from tying it up. Dalton Garrison has been the equal here in every bit of the way.
He's got his hands down low.
Nice.
He needs to go south. He needs to finish south.
Yeah. Just
cover the
there
hips.
you
There you go. That's two. What?
Oh, you got to pick that up. Got to pick that up.
I don't know why he covered the hips. That should have been two, but I don't know what these refs are seeing.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
There you go. Now, if he can climb the body.
That should have been two.
There you go. And that is two.
There you go. With 13 seconds left, he keeps holding down. It's tie score.
And we talked about, Mark, that, if he can come out of this with a tie score.
Oh, he's cranking on. Oh, okay. 5 seconds left. Not enough time, but you know what?
Looks like Garrison is a little winded at this point.
You know what? Really painful cranking on your neck for 5. It's only 5 seconds, but.
Well, especially when you're straining not to get put on your back.
I don't know too many people that appreciate getting their neck cranked for 5 seconds, let alone 1 second. So it's a great job by Josh fighting through this period.
And, we said earlier at the beginning of that last period, if you come out of this tied after being down 4-1, and then you control, you got a chance. And Josh Klein is back to the position.
Opened himself up for a great chance to win this match.
Yes, he is.
He's going to try to armbar. He needs to put his elbow down on the mat and scoop up the arm, but he needs to get him flat first. Now he's out behind. He needs to cover the hips.
Well, that in this situation now, 6-5, you take him down. You get the 7-5 lead.
He needs to go for that low single again. It's been working all match.
Dalton Garrison it kind of disappeared offensively. He can't allow himself to get.
Looks like he's a little winded, but hopefully
he can.
Josh can capitalize on that.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. Well, just as I say that, you get a nice. Oh, well, if Josh can get a leg in, if he can get settled
hips
back.
down, if he can get his hips down and cross-face him, hips down, he might pick him up right here. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, minute 10 left, and
down by 3.
And escaping a takedown ties it.
And just as we said, Garrison's a little tired. He shoots the double and gets back into control.
It's like a strong kid. Oh, needs to get the wrists and get those arms out from under his.
So now Josh just needs to stand up here.
No, cuts him away. All right. So it's 8-6. He's looking for that. Yep, he's looking for that takedown. It's been working for him most of the match. So, before they wore the takedown, they call them both out of bounds.
Wow, that's close.
Josh needs to shoot underneath. It's like they're both really tired, but even with Garrison being tired, he's got a pretty great shot.
He does. I mean, we were saying, well, it looks like he's, winded, and then, boom, takes him down. So
Josh's got to go after that low single, catch him flat-footed like he did in last period.
Yeah, the low single's been there every time he shot, and I would think that's where Josh is looking. circles.
There it was.
And that's
And come on.
go, get around, get
Pop
around.
his up,
Pop the head, pop the head, pop the head.
There it is.
There
There's
you go.
two. That's a great shot defense by Klein. And now if he can,
Well, he got short time here, Mark. Is
can't make any mistakes.
16 seconds.
Can't make any mistakes.
You got to break him down.
You gotta get
And
him
at this
flat.
point, you
can't
can
make any
You
mistakes.
can ride the ankle.
Ooh.
Oh, he's got an arm bar.
He can
If he can
he
just-
can rip that and facelift and score two. All right,
I think
that's
we're going
a great
to
job.
overtime
Yeah, looks
here,
like
Mark.
we're going overtime.
So why don't you talk about overtime here to our
So the
fans?
first overtime's a little wacky since I wrestled. It was traditionally it was a 1 minute period. First takedown wins,
Right.
which is what we're going to see here. 1 minute first takedown wins, and then it gets a little wild. And if it gets that far, we'll kind of go.
We'll go through it. Okay.
Yeah.
So first takedown here, and Josh goes for the single, which has been successful.
That's a great
He
job by both
fends
of them.
it. Oh, he fends it off. Oh,
That's two. Oh, out of bounds. They call out of bounds. There's no takedown.
no takedown. Saved by the call on that one.
Wow, I don't know about maybe his right foot might have been out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
not 2 feet. So
Yeah.
we'll see. So about 35 seconds left in the match.
Josh had it. He's there. He's
needs to
still
get up
giving
to
up
his
that
base.
single, and I think that's what Josh.
He needs to get his front headlock in and move. He's got to
Oh,
move.
Oh.
There's
Oh.
your two.
And there's
That's a
two.
great match. That's probably one of the best matches I've seen
In a while.
in this duels.
So 10-8, Dalton Garrison of Wilmington picks up the decision. Nice match on both.
Just a few more takedowns than Josh, but impressive win by both of them.
So that moves it out to 21-6 in favor of Wilmington. And now John Klein comes up against Isaac Allen, and we've seen both of these guys, and both were impressive.
Yeah, a
last
couple
time.
of district qualifiers. Ooh.
And we got a little action over
Blanchester
here.
got a pin by Clinton-Massie. I'm not sure what weight that is, but
I think I've been marking them off. I think that was at 152.
okay, you got Isaac Allen and Mr. Klein, who
Yep.
this might be his first set of matches at 160. He was wrestling 170.
Yeah, he was
Earlier in the year,
And
so-
Josh Klein was at 160, so they both dropped a weight class. Ooh,
Yeah, that's a
And
great takedown by
Isaac Allen.
Yep.
Isaac Allen of Wilmington, John Klein of
Now he's-
East Clinton.
Isaac's got an advantage because he's a little more lankier than Mr. Klein there.
And
so
I
we'll
believe
see.
Isaac is he a senior?
He's a senior, yes.
Yeah,
He should be
I think he is.
senior.
And he's trying to tilt John, but John is not going to let that happen there.
Yeah,
Well,
6-1 on the year. He's a
they-
senior. He's a two-time state alternate. So he's
Wow,
a pretty
they just
impressive
gave him
kid
3 points.
for a tilt.
Yeah, out of bounds. You were just talking about that, and before that would not have been anything. But
Yeah, if he has a knee down or like a shoulder or anything,
right,
then it counts
Yep.
for it's a
got the arm bar
deep
on
arm
John.
bar. He's going to try to.
He's going to get the hat, or he's going to get a wrist. If he could reach under the head and get the wrist, he would have a serious advantage there.
He's going to facelift him and he's
Yeah.
going to roll up that elbow. Ooh, that's
John
a nice
Klein
job of hip
powers
heist to his
through,
belly.
Yeah,
It's a nice job of hip heist into his belly.
Johnny Klein powers through there.
He's not going to give it up easy.
No, John Klein's a
John's
competitor.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. You have to fight for every point you get against John Klein.
Yes,
so
you do.
he does a great job in his initial sit out, but he's got to keep moving.
Yep.
You got to put two moves together.
Yep. He's got to just keep on getting after it, and it works out for you. But wow, that was a nice move
Kind
there
of
by
wrenched the head in
Isaac.
the arm there.
Yeah. Oh,
Hips down.
now John
John
Klein.
was able to reverse it, and he's getting backs too.
John's a good finisher too. That could be.
Yeah, but Isaac Allen's a pretty talented kid.
Yeah,
so
he
we'll
is.
see what
He
this
is.
does.
He's a senior. Now John just got to get
Hips
there
down,
on.
he's got-
Oh, wow!
That was an impressive end to that period for Klein.
Wow.
He was able to fight off his back.
Now
Get the head in the arm in.
They didn't give any. Did they give any points yet on that? So John didn't get any points on that. He got the reversal, but he didn't get any back points.
Must have been
Must
teetering
not
the
have been.
entire way.
Yeah, must not have held him long
I
enough.
saw John's hips slide to the mat, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
And the East Clinton coaching staff isn't debating it, so they must not have felt there was
Right.
points either.
Look at Isaac Allen has not stopped moving on bottom.
I was
and he's
looking for
caught
a
the leg.
Peterson.
Yep, he just got it.
Yep. And he has got the Peterson cradle in there nice and tight. Although John,
Yeah, he just moved a little faster, half a tick faster than John.
yep. And Johnny Klein has just got to keep that, not let his head get caught in there, because if he gets the head,
There, he belly down, and there you go. All right,
then
so he prevented anything bad from happening, but now he's got to fight off this cross wrist. And
so 10 to 6, John Klein is going to need to get a little offense going here. Got to get his escape, get a takedown, point by point, get back into it here. But Isaac Allen is
says 10-4, but
right.
So
Isaac
the reversal and
the back points.
reversal and 2 backs.
Yeah.
For Klein, he's got to get his hips away. You can't wrestle on neutral.
And now if John Klein is
He's
able
got
to,
about 50 seconds left. That's a nice reversal by Klein.
okay, so he
he's
can add some
currently
back
stuff in
points.
the head, and
Yeah. And that's the thing.
see, he's going to try to Peterson again because
Just
John wasn't able to get his hips behind him.
John got too
He's
high.
going
up
to try his
there.
hip. There it is. There's the
Yeah.
Peterson.
We had a East Clinton wrestler a few years ago that was pretty decent at that. It was Cameron Block.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that Peterson.
I just saw him walk by about 20
Did you?
minutes ago. Yeah, he pops his head in every now and again for
Yeah.
wrestling events. So
Yeah. So
yeah, he's got that arm bar pretty tight, and
got good
John's
shoulder
gonna be-
pressure
John's
on
gonna
John.
need to move at under 10 seconds, so it doesn't look like he might
15 to
might
6.
get a tilt really quick here.
And it looks
Nah,
like
John
it's
looks
going
like he's going to fight it off.
Yeah, John kept those hips nice and flat. So we go into the third period, 15 to 6 in favor of Isaac Allen of Wilmington over John Klein of East Clinton.
It looks like he's going to maybe try one of his 5-point plays and see if he can get something big here on Allen.
And they're going to go neutral. And, Isaac Allen has been impressive both matches we've seen. And there's Cameron Block,
Yeah,
who we just talked about.
So John.
Johnny Klein. Johnny Klein.
Isaac Allen's a talented
He's
kid.
a strong
not
kid.
He's not going to let a simple head and arm beat him. So
Yeah, and he's a
But look
strong. He's a
Klein's
strong
still got to scramble.
kid.
Isaac Allen's a great scrambler, but he's countering everything, and Klein's given.
Yeah. Well, and you've got a senior against a sophomore, which he's powered through some of John's moves a couple times.
Yeah.
That maturity.
And this is just a wild sport. Because you can go from being on your back to being on top in a pinning combination, just like that. So,
well,
one of the things I love about
wrestling.
wrestling is how wild it can potentially be.
Well, a few minutes ago we were at 15 to 6. Now we're at 17 to 10. But
Speaking of Cameron
and there's
Block,
Cameron Block. We're just talking about Peterson cradles.
Uh-oh.
I don't think we're going to get Cameron Block here with us. What's that? Good. How you doing, man?
Looks like John Klein is struggling. He's got a butcher in. Isaac's
We were
got a
just
butcher in
talking
on
about
Klein. And
Peterson cradles
he's
when
got
they were,
his
that guy,
shoulders
Allen
are
kept
not
that end up.
near the mat, so he's already got his 3 back
still working
points.
up
So
from
he just
Jeffersonville?
kind of looks like Allen might just kind of sit there and wait out as much time as he possibly can in the third period here. John's going to fight to his belly and fight to his belly. Nice hip heist by Klein, and
Good.
there goes the pinning combination.
Doing some radio, stay out of trouble.
Under 10 seconds left in the
being
match.
the
You got a 10-7.
Okay.
It'll end up being
Good seeing
20
you.
to 10
Merry-
final
Merry
score.
Christmas. Yeah.
Isaac Allen, the senior, with the victory.
And, of course, we just talked about the aforementioned Cameron Block, and he appeared.
This is what I love about John Klein is he is, even though he's wrestling an extremely talented wrestler, 2-time state alternate, he is upset with himself for
Well, there's no quitting John Klein.
absolutely not.
I've had
His work ethic is impressive. I've never, in 6 years, 7 years, in 4 different schools, I've never seen 2 kids like the Kleins and their work ethic.
I've had the pleasure of coaching John and Josh in both tennis and cross country.
Yeah,
And
here's my question there,
and there's
cross
no-
country coach.
Yes.
How is it that the Kleins finish cross country season at 170 pounds? Are you making sure they're not on bikes or on cars or something?
Well,
are they actually running?
We're putting them on that high protein diet.
They came into the preseason wrestling weighing 170 pounds. I was like, I thought you guys were running cross country.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out that way.
John just shrugs at me. He's like, I don't know. So now we got a 182-pound match. Nathan Vest of East Clinton versus Tristan Barnes of Wilmington.
Yes, indeed.
We got Tristan Barnes early with the front headlock and the takedown.
Tristan Barnes is.
Vest has got to keep his head up, elbows in.
Nathan Vest just has got to do best he can here.
He's got
Fight it off.
He's got the crowbar on the wrist. Ooh, right to the half. Oh, he's fighting off of a good job. He didn't let him sink the half. So we got the back points there.
Yes, indeed.
So
Nathan Vest just got to get his base. Got to get his
once
bearings,
he gets to
sir.
his base, he should. Oh, he's got the half on the other side. He's going to take some big steps, maybe run it. Vest has got to block that off and pinch and look away.
Yeah, but
Vest's hips fall
got
over.
Got the opposite wrist tied down.
Yeah, that was a tough one for Mr. Vest there.
And that is that.
So nice job by Tristan Barnes, able to dictate the match and get the victory.
39-6.
And
that will
handful of
forfeits
here. You got Brady Bergdorf at 195, TJ Womble at 220, Connor Barton at 285 heavyweight.
And then Braden Esposito will pick up a.
Those are all Wilmington wrestlers. And then at 106, Braden Esposito with the 106 forfeit for East Clinton.
And then there will be Cameron Smart and Sam Estes.
Unless Coach Tolliver and Coach Stalin have agreed to wrestle Cameron Smart.
I think they have.
And Braden Esposito.
I think that's what we're going to see.
So there you go. So we got Cameron Smart at 113 and Braden Esposito at 106, squaring off. And this should be the last match for the Astros.
Right. And then Sam Estes will receive a forfeit, and that will finish it up.
So
let's see.
Esposito is a
sophomore.
Tough little kid. He's a little sophomore, 106-pounder. Just started wrestling in junior high. And he's real big into the mixed martial arts, the Muay Thai stuff in the offseason.
He is an
He's
MMA guy.
Currently 6-0 with 6 pins on the year. He got first at North College Hill. 2-time first place victory. He got first as a freshman last year as well.
Nice.
Ended up getting
Cameron Smart got in nice and deep on the shot. Now there's a definite size advantage here for Smart being a 113.
Right.
And I'm not in the weight wrestling room, but does Esposito have any difficulties making weight?
Every now and again, he'll be up there near 108, 110 almost. Sometimes,
but he's a pretty comfortable 106 for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. So, but the bad thing about it is, that in some states have actually gone to this. Some youth tournaments I've heard is they weigh in before each match. And so the thing about the weights like 106 and 113 is you weigh in this afternoon at 106, but by the time you wrestle, you might be 115, 120.
Yeah.
So, and
I don't know if I like that. I mean, what would be seems counterproductive with the weight.
But it does prevent kids that cut really hard to get to smaller weights and just balloon back up before matches.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. So 2-0 in favor of Cameron Smart of Wilmington over Braden Esposito of East Clinton, and Esposito on the bottom, Smart in control.
He's got to get to his base. He's flattening out right now. He's got to get to his base. Get that wrist off. He's just going to butcher him. He's going to try to butcher him straight over.
Yeah, and Esposito is up to the challenge there. He said, no, not right now.
Now he's trying for the near cradle, so he knew the butcher wouldn't work, so he's sliding to the near cradle.
Go to a head and ribs here, and
head and ribs. What are you, a KFC?
Yeah.
Can I get a wing and a thigh?
Or do we go to a real old one we used to call bow and arrow?
Oh, there you go.
And so Cameron Smart with 45 seconds to go in the first period, leading 2-0 over Braden Esposito of East Clinton.
Braden's put up a good fight. He's not giving up any back points. Keeps moving on bottom.
You know, you look at Smart, though, I would bet you that he was probably a 120 beginning of the year, and he's down to 113, which gives him a huge advantage over Esposito, who's wrestling up here for this match.
But
he'll be better from it.
yeah, absolutely. Wrestling up is a huge benefit for the underweight wrestler.
Yep.
Because he'll struggle wrestling Cameron Smart here like he is now, but then he'll wrestle a 106er and be like, oh, these guys are light.
Yeah. And Esposito.
He's keep fighting, though. He hasn't put on his back yet.
No.
And nice little hip heist. All right, now they're both out of bounds. Ooh, 0.6 left. Nice job, clock operator.
So, what's the chances of that happening? Not very good. Now we got another. Okay, so theoretically we are at 170 over in the championship match. We will try to get.
It's like Massey's in control over there, 21-10, 10 points.
Yeah.
Now, this should be the last third place match outside of a few forfeits for Wilmington.
Yep.
Yeah. There's 6 more points for Massey. Got Braden fighting off a double leg here. Okay, so it's 106/113 match here. You got Cameron Smart under control here, reaching for the half. Up 4-0. Ooh, only a 1 count there, so Braden was able to get back.
4-0 in favor of Cameron Smart of Wilmington.
Bill, you afraid to not answer the phone?
Well, off into almost into the turnbuckle.
No, the Wilmington bench was well prepared to catch both wrestlers.
Yes,
I'm glad they're got their heads up on the bench.
It's my lovely wife's birthday today.
That's right, and you're here.
Yes.
How about that?
With her permission.
Is that all we need to say?
Yes. So anyhow, a little cross face there by Smart.
See, there you go. So he was smart enough to realize he was way out front and he needed to cover the hips up because Braden could have easily just jumped to his knees and popped right up.
I think for Esposito, you just got to get your point. You know, you got to get that confidence. And
that's tough when you're on bottom for a whole period and you can't score.
Right.
That's tough.
And
that'll take your confidence.
Yeah. If you can't get out, then you just he's got
a little head.
There you go. Get his point.
He's got a circle. He's got a circle into it. Smart's looks like he's much stronger than Braden. Braden's got to dump it. Braden's got to take. He's trying to.
Yeah.
He's trying to muscle it, and what you need to do is, and what I tell wrestlers all the time is take what they give you.
Nice.
Okay, so he finished
4-2.
He finished the takedown there.
So 11 seconds to go, second period, 4-2 in favor of Cameron Smart. Braden Esposito of East Clinton just scored 2 points, cuts the lead in half, and
so see that's 11 seconds left. This is killer points.
Yep.
If he gives up any kind of points in 11 seconds like that, ouch.
And
back
points.
Oh boy.
And maybe worse than that.
Oh boy.
And he just has to fight through it.
With 2.2 seconds left in the match, he gets the reversal, the backs, and the pin.
At 3:59.
That is exactly what I was saying. The crucial minutes for the crucial seconds.
Those were prophetic words there by Coach Scovanner.
Oh boy.
So that ends it, 55-6 in favor of the Wilmington Hurricane as they take third place in the duels with that victory. And that takes us over to the championship match over here, which gets us to, I think this is 170. It looks like Torres for...
Torres versus Colton Doyle. Almost said Dalton Coyle.
So we have 27-10 in favor of Clinton-Massie. And
so it's 2 minutes. So start of the second period in the 170-pound weight class. 0-0 the score, no score, and we'll see. Looks like Massie is in control here. Mr. Doyle. We'll see what's going on. Oh, just out of bounds, heading to the reset center.
It's probably a little bit of a surprise that Massie is leading by that much, given Blanchester's wrestling prowess.
I've heard that. However, I have heard that Massie is
building up the program.
is having the most success this year. So they're kind of proving it here in the Clinton County duels.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach Running over there has got a nice little roster on him.
Yeah. Well, they've been impressive. I have to give them that.
Junior high too.
Yes.
Their junior high program was.
They won the championship also. So
we got an escape for Mr. Doyle here from Massie, and we're at neutral.
So 1:26 to go in the second period.
I'm sorry. It was Torres that got the escape. He's the green wrestler.
Ramiro Torres of Blanchester, but it looks like Doyle is going to get a.
I don't know how this is not a takedown yet, but there's your takedown for red. 2-1.
2-1. Colton Doyle.
It seems like these calls tonight have been kind of
slow
delayed.
coming.
Yeah, kind of delayed.
Yeah. Well, and I guess they just want to make sure they're getting them right.
Well,
but
to be fair, we have to remember it's early in the season for us, and it's early in the season for them too. So
right. Of course, you would think with two guys on the mat, it's a little bit easier, you know.
You would think, but it's the second guy is just we got a locking hands. We got a locking hands by.
So that just negated Doyle's takedown.
Yep. So technical violation, and so now he's back down. And so now Torres tied it and has the ability to go up one with an escape.
Yeah. And if Bland has any ideas of getting back into this, they got to win this one here.
Well, they're going to need some pins too.
Because then they follow up with Latchford and Peters, who are their district qualifiers. So they could get back into this match. But we will find out shortly. He's looking for the cradle. And, he's really high on that. He almost shook him off,
he
Mark.
He was able to get his hip across, though.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that this afternoon as well. Is anytime a head is remotely near a knee, they're wrapping for the cradle.
Yeah. Well, wrestling goes in trends. And you see favorite moves. A lot of times the big power programs start doing something and everybody copies them. And, of course, Graham and St. Ed's for years would do things like that, and then people would just follow suit and copy them.
However, you do not see programs with, at least in this area, so like exactly, here's what they hit.
Right.
Okay, so like Coach Stalin is from Fairfield. You knew Fairfield kids were all going to hit spirals from top. You knew they're all were going to hit firemen's from, the Mason kids. All were going to do cross wrist arm bars.
Right.
There's certain programs you knew exactly what they were going to do.
What you were going to get
before the match even started.
Right.
It didn't matter because they were so good at it.
You couldn't stop it anyhow.
Right.
So 2-2 at the end of the second period. Ramiro Torres and Colton Doyle.
It seems like all the county schools have a kind of a mix of techniques and moves. So. Which again is a blessing and a curse. So they can mix it up, but B, they don't do anything particularly well if they mix it up too much.
Yeah, and you just see the trend type of thing. Like I say, a lot of it has to do with the camps they're going to or where. Right.
Yeah, the kids love to.
Or the biddies clubs.
The kids love to go to camps in summertime and come back and say, "Look what I learned! Look what I learned." It's like, let's slow down and let's do some basics before we get into
let's see how
spladles and other things that
lateral drops.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that just comes with time. So the East Clinton wrestling team is getting ready to move the mats. Coach Scovaner's looking forward to that.
Looks like we got plenty more matches on the radio tonight.
We'll be here for a while. So you're saying there's a chance I might not have to do it. So Ramiro Torres.
This is a tough match. It's currently we got 3-2 in favor of Massie here.
And Torres almost picks up the 2-point takedown there as he scoots around behind him.
Torres down by 1 minute, 12 left in the third.
And he's going to have to. He's going to have to go for the takedown here pretty soon, Mark, to get this thing.
Yeah, that's when it's maybe not desperate time yet, but boy, about 30 seconds left. It might get wild here.
Yeah. I mean, if he's going to pull this out, he's going to have to set something up. And looks like he's. Ooh. I got to give the Massie wrestler credit. He's wrestling the edge pretty well. And, of course, anybody that's wrestled knows that if you got the lead and you can wrestle the edge, it gives you a huge advantage. Although they have modified rules on the edges now, which makes it a little more difficult. So, Torres keeps. He could get around. That could be it. That's a two-pointer. And he takes him to his back.
So he needs to jump sides, and man, that is rough in terms of Massie's wrestler. So we'll see what he can come up with. If he can tie it with an escape, or he can win it with a reversal here.
So what would you think, Mark? At this point, would you be better if you didn't think you could ride him, kick him out, and Torres has had success taking him down.
If you have any notion of getting 2 points, you're afraid he's going to get a reversal.
Yes.
If you got any notion of
you boot him.
You might as well.
Yeah.
If you're really rough on top, and he's really talented, so that's what he's trying to do. But if you can just follow the hips, if he doubles off,
well, that's
he's got to double off. So he's got to let go. He's got to did his left arm and double off. Oh wow, nothing yet. Oh no! Oh! Instead of.
Oh wait, they're still running the clock.
What?
Hey, you guys got
a clock and a. What just? I'm not sure what just happened.
It was 17 seconds when he went out of bounds.
There's 17 seconds left, and they called the reversal instead of the escape. But I didn't see any change of control. But
hey, Doug. There was 17 seconds left when they went out of bounds.
So we'll see. I don't know what the referees.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to determine it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the referees going to do here. There's your 17 seconds. Okay. Massie up by 1, it looks like.
Yeah. Instant replay comes in handy there. So here we go. I think they got the score right there. So it's a reversal. He goes up 5-4. Now Torres has got 17 seconds to get out. And it just goes back to what we were saying before. If you can't hold the kid down, kick him out, especially if you've been able to take him down.
Right, yeah, because that's exactly what happened is instead of kicking him for 1, he wrestled with him and ended up getting a reversal.
Right, and you'd be tied, and then you get to take – it's very worse you go to overtime.
Right, so now he's up by 1 when he could have been tied and wrestling from their feet.
Right.
But if you're able to cover the hips the entire time, you're still in good shape. Ooh, 5-4, here we go.
So this is your ball game here, 5-4.
17 seconds left, down 1.
Colton Doyle over Romario Torres. And he's got to go hard. He just can't reach back there. Oh!
12.3. Now the clock operator's on it. That was a quick stoppage after that whistle.
Yeah, that's
so Torres back on bottom. He's got a chance for a escape tie or a
might be a
reversal
chance.
win.
This is where a Granby roll sometimes comes in if you can get up to your feet. But I don't think he's going to do it. Oh! Woo! An escape awarded to Romario Torres of Blanchester, even at 5-5 with 4.6 seconds. And Torres tries to get around for a takedown.
Nope.
Going into overtime, you almost got to give Torres a little bit of an edge.
Oh, 6 should be.
It should
6-6. There you go. Okay,
You
so
would give Torres. I mean, he's had some good success.
we got 1 minute. We got 1 minute. First takedown wins. Not 2 minutes. 1 minute. First takedown wins.
So 1 minute, first takedown wins, and if it's still tied, then we'll let Mark explain the rest of it.
Yeah.
So they go to 30-second ones after that?
So yeah, two 30-second opportunities to be on bottom, and then if the scores remain tied after that, then they go to the sudden death.
But did they wrestle? Did they wrestle it
it's
through, though?
2017. Yeah, they will wrestle it all the way through. So back points and everything will count.
Right. Okay.
And it's 2017, so it's sudden victory.
Oh, okay. Sudden death.
Yes, right. And so that is the wrestler that scored the first takedown gets points top or bottom. If you escape, you win. If you hold them down, you win. 30 seconds.
Okay. So
that's
40.
That's the best 30 seconds in wrestling right there.
There you go. I agree. And
So about 35 seconds left in the overtime.
Torres, you got to keep his head up there. And Doyle can score here. Now, Torres just keeps on moving forward.
25 seconds. They're back to neutral.
Oh, man. 20 seconds to go. 6-6.
He's backpedaling and gassed. Doyle's backpedaling
Got a
and gassed.
heck of him. Oh, he snaps him
might-
down.
Oh, he gave him his leg,
But
though.
he gave him his leg
10
on the snap
seconds.
down. And there's 8 seconds to go.
5 seconds.
Oh,
no
if he could get
change.
that high leg
No
over, but
change.
no.
He's got the leg.
Doyle hangs on.
Time.
Oh my goodness.
He finished the takedown with 0.8 of a second left.
We didn't see that one coming.
I was about to start talking about overtime. Holy
So
moly.
I was ready for the. Wow. I don't know.
Great job by both wrestlers. Holy moly.
Yeah, nice match. Their second overtime match of the tournament. And we were right here on Campus Nation to bring that one to you. That was a instant classic, as they call it.
Barn burner
Barn burner.
is more appropriate for Clinton County.
Yes. So that makes it 27-13 in favor of Clinton-Massie. And now we come up with Stephen Latchford of Blanchester against Joe Bauman of Clinton-Massie. And this is where things will get a little interesting. Oh, they got a forfeit. So they had a forfeit.
Is this Braxton Green and James Peters at 195?
No, I think, did they bounce? No, maybe not. So Latchford.
No, I think this is.
Latchford gets the.
I think this is Latchford for Blanchester.
They moved him up, right?
Okay.
And I think they're going to move Peters up probably to 220.
Well, no, this is the next one. Ramirez just wrestled. Now it's Stephen Latchford.
All right, yeah, but there was a forfeit because it was 27-13 after the Torres match. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, well, I thought so, too. I don't know what's going on. Well, the team scores have been wrong all day.
Right. So we'll just go with this match, though. We got
so we think it's Stephen Latchford and Joe Bauman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Bowserman?
Ooh, no. He wouldn't be able to make it here. He'd go to 4 different schools before he got here.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, he tried the head and arm, and he pulled him
right on top.
Yeah, top of
Pulled
himself.
Joe Bauman right on top of him. Okay.
So now we got
Joe Bauman is
trying the hip toss and getting a little aggressive.
a little rough out there. Stephen Latchford of
Latchford's
Blanchester.
getting aggressive. I like it. Like the attitude. Like it.
It's getting a little chippy. That makes it exciting.
All right, so we're jockeying for control. And Latchford is really pinned on that
head and arm.
Those throws. So he backs up to reset himself, and I don't know if it was something maybe he saw earlier or something he could take advantage of, but he is just all about.
Yeah.
Oh, now he shoots the high crotch.
Now high crotch and
scores the high crotch.
2-0 in favor of Stephen Latchford of
So
Blanchester.
Bowerman will be down, and Latchford will be on top in referees. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, fellas. Let's keep those.
Yeah, we keep that there
close mat up there, just in
for
case.
safety reasons, in case a body goes flying.
Yeah, and with this match, it looks like that's a possibility.
Yeah, it is a possibility.
Two pretty aggressive kids from both schools.
30 seconds to go in the first period. 2-0. Stephen Latchford of Blanchester over Joe Bauman.
And that's another
of
frustrating
Clinton-Massie.
thing about wrestling is you can fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. Period's over, and you look up, it's 2-0 still. You're like, come on.
Gave it everything I got.
Or you're fighting, and you look up and say, oh, good, it's only 2-0.
This
Latchford kind of rolls him to the back.
now,
And it
was
looks
it
like-
long enough for two?
I don't see fingers from the
I
ref,
don't see
so looks like there's no control, no back points awarded. So we pick neutral here and
Yep.
back to our feet, and let's see what we can do.
2-0. Beginning of the second period for Stephen
The
Latchford
high
of
crotch worked for
Blanchester.
Latchford last period, so let's see what happens.
Wrestling Joe Bauman.
Still wrestling pretty high like he wants a
Clinton-Massie.
toss, so haven't seen much offense on your feet from Bowerman, so
Not at all.
or Ballman, excuse me.
Bauer,
Now you got me thinking it's Joe Bowserman.
You can't say that one more time,
Yeah,
because he'll appear.
he'll appear and start throwing footballs across the gym.
Start throwing interceptions. Well, that would be a completion in some form.
I was going to say, he normally would be completed to the stands. All right. So we're trying the hip tosses.
Yeah.
You scored.
Well,
Latchford, you scored on a high crotch. I don't know why you keep wanting to go to these underhook tosses.
Yeah. Well, you could underhook and go to the high crotch, though, too. So that's
You
why.
can do a lot of things, but it looks like he's staying up like he wants a toss. Oh, there it is. It's a nice little double and kind of release. No,
but he
out of
didn't-
bounds.
Didn't finish.
Didn't hang on.
Yeah. Well, it's thing.
Yeah.
Can't let them go as they're going out of bounds. So
Hopefully Joe Bauman will start getting some offense going
Yeah.
because he
and
hasn't really done much in terms
No.
of Latchford.
but really at this point, Massey's lead, Bland really needs to look at pins. They're gonna.
All right, so maybe that's what their coach told him is to say you need a pin here.
Yeah, we need to make sure that
not a high crotch, you need a lateral. So maybe that's
Right.
Maybe it's a coaching thing. I'm not sure.
Right. And see, Bauman's doing a decent job staying on the edges.
Oh, I thought he was going to curl
Yeah,
up. I had
so-
no him right there and just lateral drop him.
I was thinking the same thing here as
Staying
Stephen
inside
Latch.
control. Ooh.
Now they're calling stalling on Bauman.
I'm surprised it hasn't come earlier. He literally has done nothing
Yeah.
from his feet.
Yeah,
for
13
two
seconds to
periods.
go, second period. I agree with you, Mark. The high crotch worked the one time, and I would say that's where you want to go again.
All
with
he's
that.
doing is defending. He hasn't attempted to progress his position. Joe Bauman has not even attempted to progress his position in this entire match on their
Right.
feet. So
Right.
I can't.
And I would say Bauman's he's going to give up a point here soon.
Well, yeah, Latchford's on the bottom, so
It just
we
depends.
haven't seen
Bauman ride.
We haven't seen
We
top
haven't
or bottom
seen-
here. We've seen
right.
a lot of neutral, so we'll see. There's the switch, and there's the 1 point.
Oh, and he's got
He's got the headlock.
He's got him.
He's
Now-
trying to sink it, but
Bauman is just.
oh, they both stepped out of bounds. Reset in the middle.
Now you notice when Bauman, when Latchford went with the overhook on that, he started backing up right to the edge of the mat right away.
It's just mat awareness.
Oh yeah, no,
So
I
if you're
mean
in a bad position,
well,
you
it's a
got to
good
take
move.
two. Yeah,
No, it's
take
a good
two
move.
steps, and
Right. You got to be aware of where you're at because if you get thrown, you want to make sure you're thrown off the mat.
oh,
1:30 to
Looks
go.
like a couple kids that are not used to tossing, so they lock it up and then they.
Yeah. Then they say,
uh,
no, this isn't a good idea.
Yeah. I only done this in practice to the freshmen.
Let's reset. So we get under 1:15 to go, third period, 3-0 in favor of Stephen Latchford of Blanchester.
Ooh.
Whoa, well, a fake duck under by Joe Bauman of Massey.
That's a bad shot by Latchford. He's got to get closer.
Yeah.
You can't dive. You can't. When
Yeah,
you an effective shot has got to be 6 inches from your opponent.
Well, not only that, you can't throw caution to the wind when you're up 3-0 and put
Right.
yourself in a position where you get put on your back.
All right. Well, but he's also.
I know he's playing
now-
for
at
he's
this
playing for the
point-
pin.
At this point, he's thinking of team points as well. So.
Right. And I understand that, but, you got to have – now, see right there, he had a Russian tie he could have worked with on that. I mean, there's
Yeah, there you go. He's
Yeah.
going for the big
Drop
play.
that.
but
See, and then that's the other thing.
It should be. It's right now. It should be 4-0 Latchford because, again, there's nothing to advance his position and Bauman.
Right.
So
And it keeps on backing up. Which,
which boy, he did not finish that shot very well.
Yeah. Well,
so that's one good thing Bauman does is defend a shot, but
Well, I'd say
Latchford's not taking very good ones.
I think Latchford's gassed too here at this point.
So he's taking getting in decent position for a shot, but he's just not finishing.
Right. And I mean, you could go for the home run
And that's the problem.
shot here.
You can take. It's minimal effort to get into a shot. It's
Right.
all the effort to finish the shot.
Right.
And our final should be 3-0 in terms of. So that'll bring
Stephen
the
Latchford.
score up to 22-27 in favor of Clinton-Massie. Looks like there's forfeits here, so that looks like.
Well, James Peters would still be.
Nope, looks like Braxton Green and.
So that's a forfeit for Massey, which would make it 33.
That might be Austin Hamilton, so I'm not really sure. I don't know what happened to James Peters and Braxton Green.
I have no idea what they're doing here.
But now we got the little fellers from Blanchester coming up. And Massey doesn't have a 106 or a 113, so it looks like Massey's going to, Blanchester's going to take a couple forfeits from Daniel Davenport at 106.
113 is a double forfeit.
Yeah, it's true.
So I would think if it works out, then you're going to have Berwanger and Asher might be the last match.
Don't see any Massey kids coming up, though. This is a kind of a cluster. I'm not really sure.
So it's going to be a tie? I think it's going to end up 39-39. Huh.
Not really sure what happened to the 195 weight class, but unless that whole time that was James Peters and Braxton Green we were covering.
Right. It could have been. But we
went from Torres to Latchford. So.
Yeah, it jumped right over that.
Then again,
who knows? Okay, so why?
I get myself in bigger holes when I start using common sense, so I'm not really sure what's going on. But it looks like looks like we're shaking hands.
According to the board, it ended up 39-34 in favor of Clinton-Massie. So Clinton-Massie wins the Clinton County duels. Thanks for listening tonight on Campus Nation. My thanks to Mark Scovanner.
Appreciate it, sir.
For
Anytime.
joining us. Yep. And we will see you again during the course of the season as we bring you some more wrestling from Clinton County.
Sounds good.
So for Rick Phillips on the camera and the board, I'm Bill Rayback. Good night, everyone. Okay.
That was confusing as shit.
I had the team scoring was just like we'd get a 3-point one and it would be a 4-point win. I mean, I don't know who's putting up. Hope Doug goes over that because I don't either. Oh well, who cares? We just announce it. I'll save these this time. Of course, it'll be by the time we do.